For the finest in vinyl siding, rain gutters, overhangs, storm and replacement windows, even patios and decks, trust in the experts at Ultimate Siding and Gutters. In addition to being licensed and insured, our technicians are also friendly and courteous, performing hassle-free service and installation at affordable rates. Plus, we provide free estimates for commercial and residential structures. Our entire staff will exceed your expectations. For the ultimate in siding, gutters, and much more, call Ultimate Siding and Gutters today.
And so we had an issue at a plant about 2 weeks ago. It was a traditional municipal wastewater treatment plant, tremendous foaming on top of the basins. And so me and our lead operator for the site got our heads together. We pulled some samples, did the analysis of those samples. We actually looked at the bugs from the system under a microscope so that we could see the type of bug that was actually growing in there. And what we found actually was that there were very few bugs growing in there. The higher life forms in particular had died off, and we had the single cell protozoa type of bacteria growing in there. So what that told us was we probably got hit with some kind of toxic shock at the facility. So we immediately changed the way we were operating the plant. We changed the return activated sludge rates, the wasting rates, and did a few other things around the facility to try to really buffer ourselves against whatever had happened, because it's too late, right? It's already in the plant. So we're trying to buffer ourselves against whatever that toxic event was, because if it just happened, yesterday, it's liable to happen again today. Usually these things go in like threes. And so it's taking real world experience, knowing that we not only needed to look at the analytical data that we were collecting at the time, but also looking at the bugs under the microscope, determining what's going on with the bug population in the aeration basins, and then taking that information, layering that together with the data we collected through analytical analysis, and coming up with a solution based on all that combined, which I think is a pretty unique approach to dealing with a problem like that at a facility.
Alrighty, welcome everybody back to SimTrack's broadcast, and we are here on Wednesday night with the Racing Revolution League at the World Wide Technology Center. The guys are definitely rested up plenty after last race at Charlotte, the longest race of the year, and I'm not talking about the cautions that ensued after that. Many cautions at that track, and so many guys trying to different areas, and it just did not work out. But this track is going to be a nasty one here tonight, as some of the banking isn't as favorable out here. Some of these guys are noticing these right side tires and these next gen cars aren't working. They're going to wish they could change the gearing, and it's going to be really a kind of a wild one here, Stella. Look at kind of how the banking is in these turns, and kind of trying to figure out really where's the best route to head around this track.
Yeah, you are looking at turn 1 and 2 with an 11-degree bank. 3 and 4 is flat as a pancake at 9. So this 1.25-mile oval tonight is going to challenge them quite a bit. But this road course, or I should say they opened this road course in the 90s and then took it out. Oh, ouch.
Sorry.
Took it out and replaced the whole thing with the oval. So there's a lot of configurations here, but tonight we are racing the oval, just to make sure everybody knows.
All right, appreciate you kind of giving a little insight on that. I think I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself. We'll talk a little bit about the race info here in just a moment, but some of this qualifying time is narrowing down here, as it looks like Trevor Keith top of the chart. And it's interesting to see that actually both Trevors during qualifying, both these guys were actually on really the road to having the pole here tonight, as both Trevors were 1 and 2 during practice. And that is going to actually undo. They're not going to have that opportunity heading into this one. But do want to give a little shout out there for the bracket challenge tonight. 2 guys are going at it here tonight. Nick Alves in the 24 and Kevin Orlando in the 27. Whoever places higher is going to win here tonight, and this is the one. Look at Nick Alves. Looks so professional. I love it. And Kevin Orlando in the starry 27 there, so he's going to have his work cut out for him here tonight. But first, let's get to the race info. At 120 laps, stage will be at 22. 5 sets of tires in pit, and of course, Racing Revolution rules, no faster pairs. Track out that track temperature, 112 degrees. That's going to be fantastic. Me, your lead producer, Patrick Morrison, followed along with the broadcaster, Stella and Jacob Reeves. We'll get a little bit from Jacob Reeves here in just a second. But really, this track is going to be a wild one, and I'm interested to see in the amount of gridding up these guys got to do and kind of where everybody's starting here. This actually may be a really, really tight race. I don't think it'll go single file unless we're at green flag pit stops. Kind of, Jacob Reeves, what are we looking at here, man? You kind of agree with that?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that, Patrick. But going back to that track temp, 112 degrees, it's going to be slick as anything right here with these turns here at World Wide Technology Raceway. Stella mentioned both of the corners are one of them's 11 degrees and the other one's 9 degrees. So big difference right there. One of them flat, one of them banked up a little bit. It's really going to take a wear on these drivers. They only got 6 sets laying in the pits, so that's going to be real rough on them. But going in these corners, real hard braking going to be going in these corners. These guys are going to be almost locking the tires up. But if anything indicates from what we saw this past Sunday in the Cup race, yeah, you're probably going to see a couple of guys that, you're going to have some of them try to run the middle, some of them try to run the bottom. I don't see anybody going right up against the fence, but you may see a couple of them try to make the middle lane work and try to get around some of the guys on the bottom. But Patrick, Stella, honestly, this track right here, it's got one of those feelings of a short track, to be honest with you. We talked about it, 1.25 miles. These guys are going to be bumping. They're going to be banging. It's going to be some good racing right here for 120 laps. I can't wait to keep going.
That they are. Trevor Keith and Kevin Orlando will be starting in the front row with Grant Thorpe and Caleb Gilbert second row. Nick Alves, Trevor Earhart sitting 5 and 6. Tay McDonald and Robert Rader following behind. Good to see Element X Racing, really most of their guys here in the top 10. Brandon Dunford, Jeremy Burns, Parker Johnson, and Justice Murphy to round out the top 12. Following all along there, Jacob Sirkovich with Blake Cook, Wayne Lowe, and Brandon Bridgeson. starting on the outside of row number 8. Michael Bennett starting 17th with Jeffrey Israel. James Loveland, Kynan Jones, Dylan Smoot, John Fike, Zach Hanna, and Matthew Robinson. Now keep in mind, Nick Schell, Alex Forget will be starting as an EOL here tonight, and Chris Schaefer falling out of the remainder of the field, but we are under green, Stella. You got to mark that one down as the fastest grid read-off I've ever done.
Yes, and your timing was impeccable.
Oh, yeah. Right now, some timing here from Grant Thorpe on that launch here as he's trying to see if he can run down Trevor Keith in the 15th Ford. Both Fords out front. Grant Thorpe Chevrolet finally breaking that one as Caleb Gilbert trying to single file it here for that 3rd spot. But inside line, he's taking a peek. No can do. But Kevin Orlando actually with a fantastic start here tonight, seeing that he is in front of Nick Alves here for that bracket challenge. A couple of guys wrecked out. They were thinking they weren't going to be there, but they were able to keep it going and keep their hopes alive. So it's interesting to see the 24 and the 27 are going to be battling out between each other for that bracket challenge. But already a little trouble from Nick Alves, kind of a nasty turn entry. Slings him to the outside, almost sends it 3 wide with Trevor Earhart, who had a terrible qualifying. He probably could have had the pole start here, but we kind of watched him smack the wall. And Nick Alves, look at this, falling off the table here. Tay McDonald and Trevor Earhart, 1 and 2, popping on through. As Trevor Keith still leads this race, so far so good. And I would really say Trevor Keith here, even though he's out here leading, he's getting, man, what a time to shine. You know, he's a new rookie here in this league, and he's getting it with his way out front and moving on through. And actually laying down some fast times of a 34.87 already on the track, fastest one so far. And while everybody else is trying to figure out how they're going to get around and really enter that sweet spot here.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, Jeremy Burns.
Oh, Jeremy Burns. Jeremy Burns going to spin it out right here in turn 3 and 4. That's going to bring out the caution. Maybe got a little bit of help to get spun around right there, Stella. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, actually it looked like, yeah, he actually did get a little bit of help. Parker Johnston was right below him, and Justice Murphy might have tagged him in the left rear. Spun out Jeremy Burns, bring out the first caution.
Wow. Let's take a look back here at Jeremy Burns and kind of rewind this. It was almost, ooh, a little nudge right there. Yeah, Jeremy Burns looks like he tries to pull it on through here, but just is unsuccessful. Look at him drift. He's got it, and then we were talking about the steering last week, and that's exactly what happens. You know, if these were the normal Xfinity or the Cup cars, you know, just being able to, he'd have been able to, you know, pull through that slide and bring it back on around. But really awesome job by everybody else not getting in them. Sonny out there in the chat, hate to see it, man, but that is going to move Jeremy Burns all the way down to the 27th position. Dropping him way off here, seeing that he had a really an awesome beginning to his race. He was actually marching back there a little bit. Not too good for him off the bat, but this choose cone rule here, Stella. Talk to me a little about it, because it seems really odd. There doesn't really seem to be an apron where these guys can choose whether to be on the track or off the track.
Yeah, since there's no usable apron or lines or anything on the front stretch, tonight they're going to be using the beginning of the apron line on the entry to turn 3.
Huh. All
yeah.
Right. Well, that may tumble it up here a little bit. It will be we'll see how that goes. Interesting to see Chris Schaefer actually having to do a drive-through here. Drive-through down pit road. Unsure quite why he was. I don't know. Maybe he jumped a line on the start or something. But that is going to move Chris Schaefer still to the final spot here in the back of the field. Biggest mover of the race. Race hadn't gone too long, but Jeffrey Israel there from Element X Racing. He's sitting 14th now. He's moved up at least 4 from a wild. Actually, a really crummy start there from the back. Pace car lights are still on. Kevin Orlando, Trevor Keith, Grant Thorpe are guys here in the top 3. And honestly, I'd like to see this one get back on the green. We got to get going here. The stage at lap 22, you know, I would probably assume everybody is a 4-tire stop day and night. There's no doubt about it. It's got to happen. You know, Jacob, I just don't see a 2-tire stop being feasible at this track.
No, not here. You know, you can see with how the track has just been beat up as bad as it is, a lot of crack sealing. We got some fans out there from my work. They might know a little bit about the crack sealing, but you can see some of the cracks. You know, they got them sealed up. So this track's got a lot of wear on it. But the track temp that we talked about earlier is just going to make this track real slick sliding around. So, yeah, you want to take 4 tires every single chance that you can because, you know, and these guys are going to be locking them up, trying to get them to slow down. These tires, from what I'm seeing, everybody's just driving the heck out of these cars and really not giving any breaks, to be honest with you. I mean, we saw a bunch of 3 wide there earlier on right here in this race. So, yeah, these guys are going hard at it. When they go hard at it, that means they got to go get 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, 100%. As we can see these guys get back underway. Pace car is off, kind of waiting on the restart from Trevor Keith. Look at the jump. Fantastic move here as he gets plenty of separation. Almost a half a second jump. Now, I would say jumping a little bit here, Sneller. Alex Forget is actually serving an EOL here tonight for jumping to start last race. He was I believe it was about 17 miles an hour, so he is going to, that's why he received an EOL here tonight, and that is why he's going to be having a battle back on the front. These guys have to maintain pace speed, and he is going to cost them dearly. But right now, Kevin Orlando with kind of a really crappy turn there, allowed Trevor Earhart to get on around. Now the 2 Trevors are going to try to run each other down, but Trevor Earhart having a little trouble getting around Grant Thorpe here. As Thorpe's holding the outside line. Yeah, there we go. 21 Chevrolet into the front. Having to check up a little bit, but Kevin Orlando trying to take the same line here and see if he can slice underneath. No problem from the starry 27 Ford out there. But Grant Thorpe, look at how he's kind of chopping it back up. Oh, look at Kevin Orlando. Full
Locked him
send,
up.
baby. It looks like he's going to put Robert Raider into the wall. That's going to be a mouthful. These guys are going to be real tired of that.
Yeah, and we just talked about them locking these brakes up. These guys going from about 165, 170 miles an hour, trying to get it slowed down. Almost, I mean, right at 100 miles an hour. So that's a 60 mile per hour difference right there, Patrick, from basically going as fast as they are to trying to get it slowed down. And especially when you got other guys around you trying not to run them over. So, I mean, good job by Kevin Orlando and Robbie Raider right there being able to not, I guess you could say, just completely mix it all up. But Robbie Raider back in the wall right here in turn 3 and 4, going to let Kevin Orlando get by. And it kind of looks like that Robbie Raider was actually going to use the wall to try to see if he could get a run back on Kevin Orlando, but he will not be able to do it. Brandon Dunford right behind him, Justice Murphy. He's sitting back there running in 10th. And, you know, we talked about these stage points, and we got one getting loose right in front of them. Wow, I'm telling you, all these guys sliding around, Kevin Orlando, everybody just sliding around right here at Worldwide.
Yeah, definitely guarantee these guys aren't happy about those good years, as it looks like. I believe that as Michael Bennett goes up there, gives a quick kiss to the wall and kind of smacks it around a little bit. That's going to knock Bennett back down to 16th and continuing on back as he's going to be way off pace. Jeffrey Israel getting another position back, getting back to the 15th spot as he's trying to see if they can fly around. But it doesn't seem to really have a solid line here where we can say that's a successful line to run. And the only person running a successful line right now is the guy getting the most clean air out of all of them, which is Trevor Keith in the 15 Ford. He's getting away. He's being able to stay at really that half a second lead. If there's a caution or probably this stage, that may be the make or break. But Robert Raider, very unusual to see him sliding and clipping the wall as many times as he has already here in the race. We haven't even made it to lap 15, and he is having all sorts of trouble. Somebody else who looks like he's kicking out of line there a little bit, Dylan Smoot. And he's back all the way in the 18th position. Why he sticks out like a sore thumb there. The red and black machine was almost down. And Alice Forget makes contact with the number 1. Matthew Robinson is around. Caution is out.
Yeah, Patrick, we talked about this track, and this track is very, very tough. Obviously, you're seeing a bunch of guys sliding up, hitting the fence, guys locking the brakes up, trying to keep them off one another. And it just looked like right there, you know, Matthew Robinson, very, very innocent right there in that particular instance, just kind of just gets spun around. And actually, that was Alex Forget that got into Matthew Robinson, spun him around. So Forget having to start from the back, like you said about that EOL, trying to see if he can make some ground up and try to get back up here and be back in familiar territory where he's usually up front battling for top fives and possibly wins. We've seen him up front numerous times this season, so he's kind of unfamiliar territory back here in the back with some of these guys back here in the back trying to hurry up, get in front. And I mean, that's just a racing incident right there, Patrick. That's just I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but this early in the race, everybody's got to kind of give and take just a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to take a peek here from Alice Forget's windshield here, and it looks like Matthew Robinson, the rear end starts to slide, and that's why he gets out behind him. Let's see if we can kind of take a peek at it full speed here. Right there. See him slide? Clink.
Yep.
Yep. That's what ended up, just that little slowdown there. And Alice Forget, I mean, I can't point fingers at the 19 machine. It looks like Robinson may have gotten just a little loose and sent him the rest of the way around and made the decision for him. Wayne Lowe coming down pit already. Looks like he's throwing on a set of tires here. Very, very early to be throwing tires on lap 14. And Chris Schaefer as well down pit road. I'm wondering if he's having a little trouble. Looks like he's throwing some tires on as well. Maybe he's trying to switch it up. I like the pit strategy. You know, if these guys are having a terrible time out here at the track, maybe a little switch up here. Throw on a set of tires. Maybe he might be able to battle back up maybe 10 positions because he has fresher tires. And maybe have an opportunity here. But right now, Stella, with the way I'm looking at this, the two Trevors have now met. Trevor Keith is going to have to figure out how to tree him on this restart, and that's going to be kind of really here the big choice is Trevor Keith going to be able to get away from Trevor Earhart, who's been coming on strong as of late.
Well, that's a good racing thing, but what I'm thinking about right now is our sponsor, who is All About Bugs tonight. Do we want to know who All About Bugs is?
Yeah.
Excellent. Because All About Bugs has provided pest control and services for pests and termites since 2012 in and around the Sevierville, Tennessee area. Their top priority is to provide effective pest and termite control solutions for either residential or commercial property. So depending on your needs, All About Bugs TN, pest control experts can create a protection plan that guarantees pest protection 365 days a year. A free pest control quote or inspection is just a phone call away. You will find their family-owned operation friendly and professional. So All About Bugs TN, your 5-star family-owned pest control and termite experts. Like they say, if bugs are bugging you, you should be bugging us.
I don't know why that seems so catchy.
It is.
All right, well, right now, Justice Murphy is going to be seeing if he can bug Parker Johnson and Robert Rader, who's going to be right there in front of him. Alongside of him will be, I believe, that should be Kevin Orlando there. See if he can get his way back to the front as we get under a restart here. Notice kind of how they are starting, both Trevor's and Trevor Earhart.
Whoa.
Sidesteps it here, and Nick Alves is around.
Oh, my heavens.
Guys, stop. Stop. Oh, no. Wow. Well, for all our Racing Revolution drivers out there who may be turned into the broadcast, you can be absolutely certain the radio chatter will not be turned on for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
This is going to be interesting because the stage caution comes at 22 or after 17. But since this has not happened yet, we're still going to have another caution at 22, if not before.
Well, really happy that Ted Reckage is out there in the up there
Race
in race
control
control because he's got to figure this out. Serkovich, Robinson, Kynan Jones, Jeremy Burns, Zach Hanna, John Fike, Parker Johnson, Chris Schaefer, James Loveland, Dylan Smootnick, Shell, Brandon Dunford, Jeffrey Israel, Brandon Richardson, and Wayne Lowe all got collected in that. All right, let's take a look here again at what happened. Ooh.
Well, I
Ooh.
see two
Do
problems
you see
right off.
Raider right here. Raider
Bumping?
looks like he bumps the back of Tay. Tay sends it into Earhart and gets him spun here. Oh, no, that can't be the reason.
Then we accordion back here between Justice and
Well, if you
and
think
there
about
goes
it, it's
Parker
going to
and
try to say
Nick.
that Tay
Ah.
McDonald's going to get black flag for passing Trevor Earhart as he spun out. He changed lanes
Oh.
before the line.
No, not fair. That would not be fair. Would they do
Look
that?
at the pileup. Well, it's up to race control to kind of hammer this one out. Let me see if we can take a look from Jeremy Burns here and kind of see how he works his way through, if he can. Because this, keep an eye just on the number 9. Oh, no.
Ooh.
Do you see who did make it through, though? Alex Forget.
Did he really?
Yes,
Alex
he did.
Forget did not hit
All-
a thing right there.
All the way
running.
on the inside, he went.
I gotta see if we can get a chase cam here of him.
Okay. I just couldn't help but see it. It's just watch.
He totally avoided the whole thing. He got out of
Absolutely.
there. Holy cow!
Look at the mess going by. He's got to be like.
The only person I want to figure out who it is. That's Sirkovich or is it Michael Bennett? Yeah, that's who I want right there. I want Michael
Bennett's
Bennett.
against the wall. Yeah. Oh.
Look at this.
Oh.
Ready?
Yeah.
Clink. Oh man.
Oh
So
man.
Not
close.
bad. Not
So
bad.
close. Look, it could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
Could have been a lot
They're
worse.
still spinning and smoking in the back.
Holy cow. All right, drivers down pit road. They may still be down there. Jeremy Burns getting some repairs. Matthew Robinson, he came down. Zach Hanna, Jeffrey Israel came down. Oh my gosh. That shuffled the field. Pace car lights are off. And Trevor Earhart, who got spun out there, is sitting now in the 5th position. And I think Nick Alves is down a lap now. He's going to have to hope for a...
Lucky dog.
yeah, for a lucky dog.
This
here.
rate, that won't be a problem.
Holy cow.
Now, on in addition to the choose cone rule, cars that are not on the lead lap, a lucky dog or a wave around are not allowed to choose their lane. They will line up in order on the inside line. Just a
That seems
tidbit.
like an old Winston Cup move. Continue on through here. I want to keep my eye here on Tay McDonald in the 73 machine. Inside line for him. Full send, baby. Touchdown a little bit on that paint. He's going to notice what that's going to do. Ride him up the track here. So Tay McDonald trying to fight that one off, but it works out for him pretty well here. Tay McDonald sitting 5th, and we are back under caution.
Well, oh, no.
I believe Zach Hanna may have been our guy. May have gotten in a little bit of trouble here.
Cautions breed cautions, Patrick, and that's one of those norms, I guess you could say here. This is Gateway to me, but it's World Wide Technology Raceway. You're gonna see Zach Hanna right here. It's like he just got loose. I mean, very tough track conditions. Bam! Matthew Robinson, nowhere to go.
Again.
Just comes up and nails him.
Hey, Jeffrey Israel made it. Oh my gosh. I would say here, Stella, this might put Nick Alves back on the lead lap.
Yes.
So
It should.
all is not lost for Mr. Nick Alves out here, but that is going to do it for our stage.
Well, yeah.
Yuck.
That.
Yuck.
All right.
That's all I have to say about this race here so far. This is looking pretty nasty. Seeing how many cautions we've already got lined up. I would say we had a great shootout at the beginning, but right now I am curious to see how Trevor Keith, he's got to have a solid pit stall time. Looks like he slows up way before his box there. Might be a little nervous. Can't blame him here. Let's see if he can beat the brace off pit road. Wrong way, dum-dum. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can find out if Trevor Keith can squirt out of there. No.
No.
Whoa. 4th position, I think, is where he ended up squirting out. Wayne Lowe and Chris Schaefer stayed out. So that's showing him on the books here for 6th position for Trevor Keith.
And we also have Jeremy Burns in the infield care center. If we'd like to talk with him.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
No way. Destroyed? No, he cannot be.
Do you or do you?
He cannot be destroyed. Look at him. He's waiting on us. Oh,
Yes.
watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Jeremy Burns, I have you here in the booth now, man. And from what I just saw, I'm fairly certain somebody just got put on probation for that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just somebody spun their tires, and it ended up stacking them all up. But we unfortunately got toe link knocked out. But we got 8.5 minutes of required and then another minute 56 of optional. So we're gonna see what we can. Hopefully, we can get some cautions in here to lessen the damage. But right now, I'm looking at 3 down. So we're just gonna try to claw back once we get all this damage fixed. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, go back and look at it. I think there may have been an accordion before Trevor got a little loose there. He got a little help, a little extra velocity that he didn't expect. But man, oh man, this is World Wide Technology Center, man. This is what you got to expect. It's almost short track racing, but so many drivers just back and forth having different areas of trying to figure out how to accelerate. But that was a massive stack up. I believe I collected over 13 cars in that one, and unfortunately, you were one of them, man. Hopefully, we see you continue on because we move to a road course next week. I mean, what happens next?
Well, right now I'm focused on a night, but next week Sonoma. We had luck at Coda, so Sonoma's looking really nice, especially since I got to practice with Ross Chastain a few weeks back. So that was pretty cool. But just practicing wherever I can be better, and I know that Sonoma's going to be a good track for me. But for tonight, at least, we're going to fix all the damage up. We're going to see what we can get out of this. I know that the wrecks aren't done just because of what Gateway is. So we're going to see how many spots we can get up, try and manage as many points as possible, and just see what we can get out of it, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Well, before we head under green, give me some shout-outs here, and you better include Sonny and Debbie out here.
Yeah, Sonny and Debbie, they watch week in and week out. We got Coach P as well, my other uncle. Mom and Papa Burns, they always support me. Miss Betsy's out there. I know she's watching. The guys and gals of 604, they're still watching even though we're all on summer break. And just you guys, Pat and Stella, y'all are amazing with Simtrax Broadcasting and Chapman Environmental for being on the hood. But yeah, anyone else who makes this possible, man, y'all are the best. And it sucks that I'm sitting in the pits here, but I might even watch a little bit of the broadcast while we get some damage fixed.
I love it. I like the way you think. Jeremy Burns, appreciate it, man, and hopefully we'll see you return back to the track.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, there's Jeremy Burns. He's unfortunately down for the count here as he's hoping for a few more cautions. Personally, I'm hoping we don't because I would love to see actually how Caleb Gilbert and Wayne Lowe do here in the front. Right now, Wayne Lowe getting some lead laps here out in front, 54 machine with some fresher tires. Seeing that, remember, Wayne Lowe did come down on lap 13, decided to take 4 tires. So not too long ago, he ended up with a set. Oh, man, careful, Wayne. He's moving around pretty courageously, kind of sliding around bottom and back to the top. So interesting to see how stiff some of these guys still move on the fresher tires here, Jacob.
Yeah, everybody just moving around, sliding around. Wayne trying to hang on to him, but I think there was a good strategy call right there for Wayne to get out there, lead him a couple of laps, get up front, get his name called, and be able to get him some extra points. We talk about this all the time with these stage points coming to the end of these races. At the end of each stage, these guys need to get every stage that they can. Big battling back here in the back. Trevor Keith back here, Kevin Orlando, Justice Murphy back here, all of them fighting it out. Trevor Keith getting into the fence. And check this out right here, battling with these guys. Robbie Rader and Alex Forget started back there in the back, starting to make his presence felt, getting back up here in familiar territory. I'm telling you, better watch out for that 19. He got lucky, missed that one big wreck that was on the front stretch. Missed it by a mile, but watch out for him. He's fixing to crack the top 10 right here.
Yeah, he's looking pretty strong there, riding on the low lane. It looked like Robert Rader almost took the nose of his car off. But fortunately, Alex Forget did not get caught up in that too much. Ooh, shot to the wall there by Michael Bennett. He's going to be a little off pace. 3 wide again. It looks like Alex Forget on the inside. He's trying to get a few more. Right now he's got James Loveland and Chris Schaefer to his outside, and now in the rear view. Excellent job here so far from Alice Bourget, but I believe we got a car around, and that is Wayne Lowe. Let's see if we can catch him here. Does he have, how bad's the damage? Oh, God. It doesn't look good. Not looking good. All right, Stella. We'll see what we got going on here.
Yeah, Patrick, it was...
Yeah, Wayne Lowe, man. We'll go back and see what the heck happened here, because that did not look healthy. Let's see if we can take a look. Whoa. Oh, Grant. Man, no fault of his own there. I just saw him shoot off the side of the track. I would say, yeah, Jacob, all the way looking at this caution here, man. Are we looking at net code, or is something happening here?
From what it's looking like, Trevor Earhart looked like he was trying to make a run to the top and get around Wayne Lowe. He knew that he was going to be on a little bit older tires. Didn't really look like they made any contact. Honestly, I think it just kind of scared Wayne Lowe that, you know, Earhart actually just had that much of a run trying to come around to the outside. And I think it might have spooked Wayne just a little bit. You know, because when you're driving, you're coming off these corners. We've already seen a bunch of these guys getting loose, sliding around, trying to be able to correct it. I saw absolutely no contact right there with Earhart. Maybe net code, maybe, but from what it looked like from a driver's perspective, I guess you could say, it looked like that he just kind of got spooked just a little bit coming off of 2 and just slipped the tires just a little bit, because we talk about money shifting. We talked about it last week. We talked about it at Darlington, a couple of races this week. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, Patrick, if a little bit of money shifting right there might have not played into that just a little bit, getting Wayne Lowe a little bit sideways, and that's what got him spun out.
Well, definitely, I would also expect tires. Remember what I was saying earlier about lap 13, he got tires. Everybody else back on lap 22 ended up getting tires. So I don't know if really that 10 lap or so difference, really, if it made any sort of difference. But we noticed earlier in the race, we made it 4 laps, and then we got at least 10 more laps in before the next caution. I lied about that too, because then there was the restart. Good Lord. I was to say, we got a slew of cautions here, I gotta admit that, but it's looking pretty grim for some of the drivers out here, trying to keep their head up and feel like they're keeping their head above water. Because right now, some of these drivers just more and more difficulties out here as we're watching Nick Alves, Jeffrey Israel working their way down pit. And I'd probably say this may be a good call if Nick Alves has any damage from the caution where these guys ended up getting spun out. He's got to figure out how to get his way back to the front, because his challenge right now is getting the guy who's sitting in 4th in that number 27 machine of Kevin Orlando. So far so good here for Kevin Orlando, staying up top 5 here for the remainder here, well, for the most of this night here, but this is looking pretty interesting here. There's Kevin Orlando. Look at that. Look, even the hat to match. I love it.
Yeah, he's got it right on cue, pretty much. Got the lime green rolling with the lime green car, and you know, I think you know, obviously Kevin Orlando's got that also in his mind with this bracket challenge, wanting to try to stay ahead of Nick Alves as much as he can. But you know, that's the cool thing about them, you know, having this bracket challenge. I wish they would have, you know, put that in, you know, in regular NASCAR, having a bracket challenge like this, because it's awesome to see this right here. Because you got to think about it, you know, excuse me, not Nick Orlando, Kevin Orlando. Both of them have got basically 2 races. They're racing the field for the points and for the win, but they're also racing against one another, trying to go for the big money. So, I mean, it's awesome to see all of this going on. But Kevin Orlando doing what he needs to do, staying up in the top 5, doing what he needs to do, be able to get him some stage points. But like you said, Patrick, we got a long way to go. Still 90 laps left in this race. He can't falter. He can't falter. He's already seen a bunch of guys already be faltering and wrecking and sliding, and I mean, God knows what else. Everybody's been going left and right. So he's got to be able to keep his composure, keep the car up under him, not do anything wrong right here. Because I'm telling you, Nick Alves, we've seen the speed that 24 car has got, I wouldn't be surprised, Nick Alves, if he's got all his damage fixed and he's got himself composed and everything, and he survives. Better be watching out for both these guys at the end. They're going to be going for it because they know that money's on the line.
Yeah, it's riding along here with Robert Rader, looking back at James Loveland and Alice Forget. Both these guys have moved up at least 10 positions. Forget up 16, breaking into the top 10 here, but we're about to go back under green with Caleb Gilbert and Tay McDonald here in the front. At least we've got one driver here for Go for Broke Racing. At least some good company there with Kevin Orlando. And Element X, once again, at least has somebody in the podium position here to really continue on this race. But Caleb Gilbert, I would probably say the silent killer out there. He's able to figure out how to fight his way back into it. Dylan Snoop blinking out on us here a little bit. 92 machine definitely don't want to be doing that. All right, let's get rotate back up where Robert Rader is trying to see if he can find his groove here. Looks like Justice Murphy just got squeezed in the middle there. I believe that is James Loveland went ahead and ducked out of that one. Ooh, Loveland into the wall. He's going to have to fix that one. Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, these turns right here, we've seen a bunch of them. I mean, damn near the whole field, honestly, Patrick, a bunch of them coming off of turn 2 and 4. Just giving it up, just giving it a little bit of tap. And this ain't Darlington, you know, this is World Wide Technology Raceway. We see Grant Thorpe going all the way down to the white line. Looked like he was going to try to take a move right there on Kevin Orlando. Not going to be able to do it. Orlando's going to try to keep it in front of him, but I'm telling you, Orlando, he knows he's got a good car. So we got one in a round. Brandon Richardson gets spun right there off of turn number 4. Gonna bring out another caution right here, Patrick. I mean, it's just back to back, just cautions breeding cautions right now.
Yeah, Brandon Richardson is around. 29 machine gets kind of smoked out here. And I think Michael Bennett may have been involved as well.
Yeah, Michael Bennett kind of got into him a little bit. Christopher Schaefer was actually up top. Looked like they was actually 3 wide coming off of turn number 4, and Bennett just stuffed it in there, and there was just no room really for anybody to really be able to make this move, as you're going to see it right here. And you see Richardson getting stuck right there in the middle, and Bennett just comes up and just kind of gets into him. Might have actually got in to the outside car maybe a little bit, and that might have been what shot him down in front of Michael Bennett and just got him spun out. But I mean, these guys are giving it all they've got, and they're not giving an inch in this race.
Yeah, Richardson rotates to the outside, collects Schaefer, and then Bennett gets the worst of it here. Oof. Ready? Boom. So we'll see if Bennett's been taking a few licks to the wall as of late. And he's going to have to definitely fix that one, as we can see Richardson trying to see if he can keep this thing or get it turned around. I wonder if Michael Bennett's been kind of popped here. Hopefully he hasn't broken a toe link. Looks like wheels are still straight here, and Brandon Richardson, oof. Shot to the wall again. Yuck. All right. Yeah, definitely interesting to keep an eye on here. So drivers coming down pit, Bennett, Richardson, and Schaefer. All 3 of the guys that were involved in that one. Jeremy Burns, I believe he is revisiting pit road as he is exited after his damage repair. Might be going back in and trying to hammer the last of the dents out. Got at least the required complete. But Jeremy Burns is down quite a few laps. If I'm not mistaken, he's down at least, I think, about 13 from what I'm showing here. So he's got to work around to get back to the front. And Stella, this race here is getting pretty hairy here. I don't know really where there's a safe spot here on this track where some guy's not going to get obliterated out here. I wonder if Miss Stella is still muted out there. Might have to try to fix that.
I really.
There you go.
Ah, my goodness.
I know we haven't heard from you in a while.
I haven't had much to say or a word to get in edgewise.
Oh.
Well, like Jacob said, they're not out here giving each other an inch, and at this point, with what's been happening, maybe they should give each other maybe 2 feet, maybe a yard, it might be advantageous to have a little bit of cushion here. And this car you told us was it does kind of a snapback. And that's what I'm seeing here, is that a lot of these guys are not prepared for this flattish track, these high temperatures, and then the car's action of snapping back. It's leading to disaster.
Yeah, that it is. Going out there to the chat, looks like Miss Haley is out there. Glad to see you out here. Miss Debbie is talking about a 6-year-old still rooting on Jeremy. Looks good.
I love it.
Yeah, and Timmy Ray the King, he is returned. Welcome back, my man. Welcome back. We're not in the dirt, but we are here at a track where guys have been doing nothing but sliding around out here, trying to see if they can keep this one under green for a while. I would say 6th caution here of the night. This is looking pretty dicey out here. I just don't know what it would take to get these cars to stay held down. You know, looking at this, Jacob, and kind of the racing, is this a next-gen car trouble, or would it be possible, let's say, Truck or Xfinity Series may have some more grip out here?
I mean, we talked about, with the steering that's in these cars, honestly, Patrick, I think that's exactly what it is these steering boxes. And if you wasn't with us last week, some of our viewers, these guys, they actually don't have a steering ratio. They actually got a steering pinion, or a racketing pinion, if you will, that makes these steering boxes really tight. So it's, they can barely even twitch them. If they just barely twitch the wheel just a little bit, it's just going to span them out just like that. So I think that's got a lot to do with it. It may have a lot to do with the shifting, because, we've seen a lot of shifting in these next gen cars, but you're going to see a lot more shifting here at this track, because they're trying to get as much speed as they possibly can. As you see Trevor Earhart taking the hat off, he's already sweating up front trying to keep it up there. But I think it's got a lot to do with that. I mean, the trucks and the Xfinity cars, they don't have as near amount of problem getting around this track as these next gen ones.
Oh yeah, Trevor Earhart, he's definitely making sure everybody can see that Black Rifle coffee ad. I love the idea. He just caught up in the middle of it. But awesome job here. Trevor Earhart right now, he's sitting third.
Trevor
in
Keith
that
going
Chevrolet.
around now. Oh my
no.
goodness.
Oh
That'll
no.
bring out another one. Wow.
Oh my, dude, did Jeffrey Israel just get...
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have broken him. Is Trevor Keith still alive?
Looks like it.
I don't know. That left rear is not looking good.
Oh.
Or the right rear. Something's wrong here. Yeah, when he took that last shot, let's see if we can see.
Give him a little hitch in his stride.
Yeah, that thing is tracking something wrong. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's take a little look at this. Oh, what? We're 3 wide.
Yeah, Robbie Rader down on the bottom, and yeah, Trevor Keith tried to keep it off of Justin Murphy up top, and he just gets snuck right in the middle right there and just absolutely loses it. But Patrick, we just got through talking about how the steering, or how the box is so tight. I think that had a lot to do with what just happened right there with Trevor Keith. I mean, he, Xfinity or Truck, he would have had that probably saved 9 times out of 10, but it's just the box. I mean, it's just the car that iRacing gives us, that the NASCAR drivers have to deal with. It's the same thing basically that they got to deal with on a weekly basis. But yeah, it's got to be that steering box is what's making these guys just absolutely lose it, because we've seen it all season long with these guys having a hard handle on trying to hold on to these cars.
Trying to see.
Yeah, exactly why he just ruined the night for somebody else instead of going around.
Dude.
Slow down, go around. Stop if you have to. The caution is already out. You don't have to keep racing.
Woosah,
Yeah.
Stella, woosah.
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, a little annoyed, I guess, at that one, because that was I would say insult to injury. It was already a bad situation, but now it's worse. So a couple of drivers Oof.
Yeah, that could have been definitely avoided, honestly, Patrick. I mean, it's like Stella just said, caution's out. Just back it down and have some awareness, have some track awareness of what you got going on around you. I mean, if the caution ain't out, then I mean, you got to keep going. You got to be digging if it's green flag. But obviously, we saw it. Caution was out, but Trevor Keith had already spun. Got up into the fence and everything. So Jeffrey Israel just coming through. It didn't even really look like he lifted. I mean, we showed it right there in his cockpit. It didn't even really look like, the RPMs was going down or the speed obviously was going down. None of that was happening. He just looked like he was just cruising right along right there on the bottom lane, and then bam, Trevor Keith was right there. I mean, honestly, that's, in my opinion, honestly, Patrick, that's uncalled for, honestly.
Yeah, it was. And I hate to see that the guy who wins and scores on the pole is now going to be multiple laps down here. As he's about 2.5 minutes in his pit box right now. Taking a look at Grant Thorpe. He's trying to make sure he gets that choose cone. So that is the line. He's going to fire his way back up to the front. Grant Thorpe doing an all right job here so far. He's been up front most of the night. Originally started third here in the race. Going to see if he can stay in the top 5.
Now, if this is a track of tire conservation, you know that Grant has some skill in that. What?
I'm just out there reading the chat. Terry showed up. Terry Earhart. It says, hey all, late to the broadcast, or should I say the demolition derby? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is uncharacteristic, I must admit, and maybe that's why, some other leagues, this is their modus operandi, not for here. And so hopefully, next week is Sonoma Road Course.
Yes. Which is also sponsored by All About Bugs.
Okay. I was going to say it should be better next week, but they'll still be off the course. They just maybe don't have the cautions.
Maybe. Maybe we'll see. It's definitely hopeful. We'll see this one get back underway here in just a moment. Have a better opportunity here. Get a little more about this track. I'd like to know about that. Dover Motorsports closed the track in 2010. Yuck. All right, let's get going here. It's the number 54 Ford of Caleb Gilbert breaks away again. I would say, I would probably hope that a lot of drivers are not going to send this thing 3 wide. But Alice Forget, hey, look at that, Kynan Jones. Sitting in 8th position. This is a good chance for him to kind of show his good side here in the front, not getting any sort of trouble out there. I know he's definitely battling around a whole bunch, trying to find a good angle to attack out here, because this track is really, really kind of being a thorn in some of these guys' sides, especially Robert Rader. You see him battling along on the outside. He's trying to fight it here, but man, he just can't get that car to hook for nothing. He's got some good pit times, but he is fighting the wheel. You can definitely see just from his shoulders there, him trying to hold the line. But this go right there, almost lost it again. Wow.
Yeah, and Robbie Rader, I mean, we've talked about him a lot this season. Won a couple of races already, getting himself firmly into the playoff picture when it comes time later this season. But, there's a bunch of races that we've actually watched Robert Rader. And we've been talking about it up here in the booth, like, is this Superman that we're watching out here? I mean, because he has got, he was just hooked up on a bunch of races that he was in, but now it's starting to look like he's not Superman. It's starting to look like he's actually just normal Clark Kent right now, sliding around all over the place. And, talking about Kynan Jones, you talked about him just a second ago. This is a great run for Kynan, because Kynan's actually had a lot of bad luck in previous races that we've had back in Kansas and Darlington and back at Charlotte. He's had some very, very bad luck, but sitting here running very quietly right now in the top 10. And he started back in 20th, so he's up 10 spots. So that's a real good run right there for Kynan. Got a lot of people around him. Blake Cook back there, Brandon Dunford, all these guys trying to see if they can make a run at him right here, see if they can take that top 10 spot from him.
I like his paint job too.
Yeah, not too shabby. I like it. All right, Kynan Jones holding on to the outside of the top 10 here, sitting in that 10th position. Rotating back up front here a little bit with old Justice Murphy. He's getting it done. So far, so good out of Justice. He's trying to get a little something going here. He almost was in a 3 wide there with Alice Forget. If I'm not mistaken, that was also Robert Rader, but Rader's falling off pace now. Way off track here. I don't know if he's having still a traction issue. I know word always around whenever there's an update is Robert Rader has to go back as an IT guy and rework his grip pack back on to get going fast again. But I refuse to say that that's what it is. And Stella, you know, we keep talking about a lot of these guys from Element X Racing, and I do want to give a shout out there to all the sponsors that are on their hood, especially the one that counts is Chapman Environmental Services. And, you know, give me a little something from them.
Okay, well, the Chapman's clients are private and public sector organizations ranging from schools to hospitals to municipalities, counties, and numerous private sector companies throughout New Jersey. Chapman's operators, scientists, and consultants are focused on providing a high level of client services and technical expertise. So Chapman has project managers, regulatory and compliance experts, licensed operators, and field technicians who form a cohesive team to address all the needs of the growing client base. So contact chapmanes.com if you feel you need any of their services.
Love it. I love it. Right now we are looking at a few drivers who are still down and out for the count. Parker Johnson is taking it to the garage as well as Zach Hanna. Both those guys have taken it to the garage. Jeremy Burns still trying to battle back. He could use about 15 more cautions to get him back onto the lead lap. Trevor Keith is still down pit road. 8.5 minutes already sitting in his box, and Matthew Robinson is down 1 lap. Those are our guys from 23rd to 27th. Moving on through here, I want to take a little look here at Dylan Smoot. Smoot battling alongside John Fike. We haven't talked about these guys too much. I did notice Fike was able to slow down a little bit and not get caught up in the spin out during the start-finish line, which ruined a lot of guys' nights here. But this will be a good chance for Dylan Smoot and John Fike to try to see if they can get back up to the front. So far, so good out of both of them as they both gained 7 positions and already a little trouble. Fike getting in the back of Smoot, and I believe that's the 14 machine of Michael Bennett. Pushing those 2 guys around. It's hard to tell. Jacob Serkovich and Michael Bennett, not 1 but 2 slurp machines out there.
Yeah, both of them are just absolutely battling it out. Smoot trying to keep it on the bottom, not try to get up into John Fike. But there's another guy that I've actually been sitting here watching. He's actually right in front of these guys, right behind Kynan Jones. And that is Nick Alves, who was at the back and got caught up in that big melee that was on the front stretch. Remember, Nick Alves, he's actually going up against Kevin Orlando for this bracket challenge. So Nick Alves trying to see if he can slide back up there. Started 5th. Obviously, he got up in that melee that I just talked about. Running back into 12th position, trying to see if he can get up here on Kynan. See if he can try to get around him, kind of blinking around. Or no, that would actually be Nick Alves blinking around a little bit. But, you know, Nick trying to hang on to it right here. And Blake Cook, we hadn't talked about him that much either. Blake's actually running very consistently right now, about right where he started at. So, but here's the thing, Patrick. Here's something that we haven't actually been able to talk about yet. We're actually into a green flag run for this race, which is what we all wanted to see. This is what the fans at home wanted to see. And I'm sure it's exactly what the drivers wanted to see as well.
Yeah, no kidding. But I was going to say, shh, don't say nothing, man. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah,
I've watched Blake Cook here, though, the last couple laps, and I've noticed that he tends to bump before he wants to pass. Bump. And this last one, he hit Nick in the back end, and he just stopped. So it was it's interesting to see that it's not a good tactic on this track.
It is not. Looks like everything's squared away. appreciate it, Ted Wreckage, for being RC for the actually the roughest part of this race. These guys having some trouble staying alive out here, but no can do. Let's keep an eye on actually Brandon Dunford. He's trying to get back into the top 10. He originally qualified 9th, but he's still trying to fight his way back up to the front. And right now, you know what? Jacob, let's go ahead and let you talk, because you love talking about Alex Forget. Right now, he's moved up 21 positions. Remember, he had an EOL sitting top 5. This dude is on a roll here.
Yeah, and he's back up, like I said, in familiar territory where he usually is. And I honestly, I feel bad for Alex, because the first race that I actually helped y'all announce here on Seven Tracks Broadcasting was at Dover, and he had that race absolutely won. And I kept sitting there saying, you know, if he doesn't mess up, he'll be fine. If I can't, you know, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he'll have this thing in the bag and be able to get some sweet redemption. And I feel like that I kind of give him the jinx a little bit, and I feel like that it, you know, I talk so much good about him, I guess, is that I basically caused him to have those problems. But yeah, I mean, you just can't deny this guy's talent. I mean, we called it right there. You said it. He had to have a EOL for jumping a restart back in Charlotte. Here he is all the way up in the top 5. So I'm telling you, this kid's got some talent. And these guys up front know it. I mean, they knew he was coming. They just didn't know when he was going to be there. And here he is right here at the halfway point from the back all the way up to the top 5.
Yeah, not too shabby by all our drivers out here, having plenty of opportunities to get back to the front and try, you know, find their groove. And I think that's what everybody's finally doing now, is finding that groove. Getting out of those 3 wide situations, start playing kind of follow the leader here as we break into the halfway point of this race. Tay McDonald, he's lost a couple positions in danger of falling outside the top 10, and Brandon Dunford can get around him here. But we still have plenty of tires. I mean, they've got plenty of tires to come back down pit, so there is still a possibility of some trouble from the rubber buildup onto the track, coming out here with fresh rubber, you know, on the track. And I've noticed here, you know, Stella, I don't know if you kind of keep an eye out there, but really these cars, to me, what makes the driving so difficult isn't just the build of the next gen car. It's, to me, I call them the terrible tires. I mean, it doesn't, you know, makes you question if Goodyear can build the tire, because these things just absolutely fall apart. They either work or they don't.
I guess it's like an engineered light bulb that goes out on at exactly, you know, this amount of hours. So you'd think that they could make tires that would last forever. They do some weird machinations, and why they would pair up an iffy tire with an iffy car is beyond me.
I would probably say because people like seeing wrecks. We just missed James Loveland
Riding the wall.
Yeah, catching the wall between 1 and 2. Looks like they're working their way around Jeffrey Israel. I believe Israel is now going, believe, a lap down now. So Matthew Robinson's got to hurry up if he wants to get the lucky dog position on Jeffrey Israel here. I think he's got to make up about 6 seconds to catch him. Oof. Next person will be Wayne Lowe in the 34 Chevrolet. That may be in danger of going a lap down, but you know, I gotta admit, I did not see Caleb Gilbert driving away with this one. Not at all, not from the beginning of the race. I knew he was up front, started in the top 5, but him leading this entire thing is really interesting. But for the past few laps, Grant Thorpe has actually been running him down here, shaving him off by a 10th at a time, and right now has him to almost about a quarter of a second there, as Caleb Gilbert gets squeezed a little bit right in turn 1 and 2, able to get a little more gas under him there and get going again.
Yeah, but honestly, Patrick, where I'm seeing Caleb, I mean, it's honestly the 2 turns, I guess you could say. You're going to see Grant Thorpe right here reel in Caleb Gilbert. At least this is where he's been getting him at for the past 2 or 3 laps, and being able to try to gain that little bit of ground. And Gilbert usually gets him in 1 and 2. So Grant's got his turn, Caleb's got his turn. So they're basically just battling back and forth. Basically, you know, they're just throwing the kitchen sink in one turn, throwing it in the next one. But they're coming up on a lot of lap traffic right here. We're actually watching them. They're catching Wayne Lowe right here as they're going to go down. And wow, actually they're going into pits right here, Patrick.
Wow. Definitely unusual. Not what we expected here right at the beginning. As we're going to see Caleb Gilbert and Grant Thorpe pulling into pit. There they go, 1-2. I believe that is also Kevin Orlando as well going down pit road. So interesting enough to see these guys firing on down, putting Trevor Earhart into the lead. Alex Forget from almost dead last to second now, but that Toyota's still got a pit. He's got to get a solid pit time as well. He's got to be in and out, no fear. He's got to figure out his timing here. But looks like Trevor Earhart, pit road for him. 19 machine of Alex Forget's going to stay out there, and he's going to see if he can put Wayne Lowe a lap down. A couple other drivers considering pit as well. Kynan Jones came down lap 64, as well as Dylan Smoot. But they are laps down because Alex Forget remains out onto the track. He's going to continue around. Really, is this a good or bad call here?
I think it's actually a very good call, to be honest. I mean, you know, the longer that you stay out there, I mean, we've talked about it at Charlotte, we've talked about it at Darlington, where tracks that they're going to have a lot of tire fall off. And this is one of those tracks where they're going to be falling off quite a bit. As you see, Forget actually going to miss it trying to go in. But it might have not hurt him that bad, guys. I mean, honestly, I don't want to be the guy that, you know, cost him twice already. But,
he was just avoiding the barrels.
well, he didn't hit him that time, so that's the good deal. But that's going to surrender the lead to Robbie Rader. But some of these guys that are staying out and getting this extra time right here, these other guys that are pitting, they're going to be able to get them right here for this first part of the run. But then by the time it gets right there to the later of the run, by the time they get to the end of the stage, it's going to be gone right there, because it's just going to absolutely eat straight into their lead, because the fresh tires will prevail.
Yeah, I would vote against actually Alex Forget receiving any sort of a penalty. He was not exiting pit, and it did actually cost him more time than him making up any sort of time, sliding into the grass there. Robert Rader working his way down pit. A couple of drivers who's still yet to visit pit. Wayne Lowe, last pit on 42, as well as Chris Schaefer. Nick Alves hasn't come down. He hasn't been here since 30. And Brandon Dunford still staying out there. He hasn't been down pit since 29. So we see the stretch here. Where's Alex Forget? I believe he's in a gaggle of cars here. Might be in a mess here in just a second, because that's Justice Murphy and the number 12 Chevrolet taking 3 wide with Nick Alves on the outside as they dive into turn 1. Look at Taylor.
No, hold it. Got it.
Held
Good
it.
job. Can you put us back on gap?
That we can.
Thank you. Thank you.
Holy cow. Nick Alves. Not only will Nick Alves be visiting pit, I guarantee he's not going to have to fix some damage. What does he do?
I think he's gonna be visiting pit to the oh God, gee. Okay.
And that was actually a very heads-up play right there by Nick Alves.
Because the caution just came out.
Yeah, I mean, technically he went down that entry ramp, but the 2 cones that start tracking you when you're on pit road are actually past that. They're actually past where the pit road wall actually starts. So that was very, very heads up right there by Nick Alves when he saw that caution. Stay out and not have to worry about you know, getting caught up in a bad spot right there. So I love this call, honestly, by a bunch of these guys staying out and running it long, because we've seen how some of these cautions have worked out, and we've seen a lot of cautions for this race, obviously. So, you know, it trapped a bunch of them a lap down. Justice Murphy, Forget, Loveland, McDonald, all these guys trapped a lap down, so they're going to have to take the wave around to get back on the lead lap. But these other guys, Dunford, Alves, Schaefer, and Caleb Gilbert, all these guys, they're going to be able to go straight in there, get them 4 fresh tires, stay on the lead lap. So you're fixing to see a mixed bag right here when we come around for this restart.
Yeah, actually taking a look at Nick Shell sliding to the grass here. A little interesting kind of area where it shows he may have had some trouble here. Let me see if I can find exactly Ooh.
Oh.
And that was really close for a bunch of guys. Robbie Rader actually went right by him as well, that you can see, and just everybody just coming right by him, barely missing him right there off of turn number 4. So that was very, very tight seeing that.
Oh.
Michael Bennett going through the grass as well.
Okay, that's just where he was off. It says lap 67. He ended up tumbling through that. Let's take another look here. What?
So why don't you give that lecture again that you did with they either brake or they turn, but they don't.
No, because I actually want to see what caused him to get. Was he too loose here? Yeah, because it wasn't a pit entry. He just ended up spinning around. That's where he is.
Oh.
That's going to do it. Boy. Yeah, trying to come back on. I would say I would like to raise up the flag. I thought when you're down pit road and you come back on, once you were down, that was your commit. So I'm hoping Nick Alves is going to be in good shape here, because I hope no trouble. Man, that might be a heck of a question, because I believe Nick Alves is about to break back into the top 5 here. He's at least in the top 10. Andy Pitt on 71.
But as Jacob said, the pit didn't start yet because of where the pit cones are.
Yes. Well, this is why I said this would be a perfect time to see if I can grab a hold of Nick Alves here. Nick Alves, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy patch as well.
All right, man, dude. This race has been pretty dismal for you, but this looks like it might be coming back. I do have a quick question though, and I don't want to poke the bear a little bit.
You're poking.
The rules. We watched you decide not to pit. You did start coming down pit lane, but decided not to when the caution came out. Is that going to be trouble later on?
So, no, that's the only indication, only reason why a car can come back out on the track on that little pavement area if a caution comes out when you're on the access road, so you don't have to go through pit road. So I was lucky enough, and the caution came out, and I ended up coming back out on track, and actually ended up helping me because the wreck that Trevor did early in the race really screwed me over. So now we're looking like we're in 5th, I think, right now. So looking pretty good so far.
Yes, contention back behind Kevin Orlando, man. This is it. The bracket challenge continues. You're not knocked out. It would be awesome. I'm rooting for both of you, but right now, for you in the front that get knocked all the way a lap down and then returning right to his rear bumper, this is going to be awesome, man. Appreciate you kind of clearing that up. I was afraid that you might get black flagged because I thought you went past it and you started entering the exit road. But okay, because a caution came out, you were allowed to re-exit. All right, excellent.
I was, yeah. But hey, yeah, everyone tune in. It's gonna be some much watch TV right now.
Yay!
I hope so.
Go get that money.
Yeah, Kevin Orlando. I hope he's got some stock in rear bumpers. All right, good luck, my man.
That thing should better be reinforced right now.
Yeah. Good luck, Nick.
Thanks, guys.
All right, everybody. There's Nick Alves. Good. Now, I'm glad he cleared that up a little bit. So right now, the bracket challenge continues. Kevin Orlando sitting 2nd. Nick Alves is 4th. And let's see how these guys get it going. I do want to mention here, Stella, that is the brand new paint scheme that Mr. Nick Alves got from Raven Graphics.
Oh, outstanding when he won the race that you sponsored.
Yes.
I like it. Honestly, I like it because it's not quite so dark. It's not like, the almost with the charcoal. No, I'm looking for words. Kind of all the burned. Oh, thank you, Justice. Colors made him disappear in the asphalt.
Yeah, that's all right. He'll have his chance to redeem himself. I can't wait to see him and the starry 27 Ford out there in the front. Man, oh man, Caleb Gilbert, I'm assuming where he's going to get an excellent restart here. Grant Thorpe's going to follow along, which is really going to determine where Kevin Orlando and Nick Alves have to go, because seeing that we've got over, almost 50 laps here left to go in the race, and Nick Alves is starting to blink out.
Really bad.
Yeah, Trevor Earhart will be starting 5th, right at the corner of these guys. Boy, what a good stacked field here in the front. Caleb Gilbert, Kevin Orlando in the front row, Grant Thorpe, Nick Alves second row, and Trevor Earhart with Justice Murphy starting in the third row. Away we go.
But you see why they're all lined up single file on the inside lane, because all those guys were wave arounds.
Yeah, speaking of which, we're already looking at Wayne Lowe. Looks like there's a good break in the field here. Kynan Jones trying to see if he can floss around him here.
Oh.
Yeah, outside line, that is a tough move. Great job by Kynan getting able to break away here. Wayne Lowe, I think, still under fire. The Smoot goes around. Wayne Lowe heavily, heavily underpowered here as everybody tries to scoot on around. Let's get back to the front here where I believe Nick Alves may be on the outside of Trevor Earhart. Earhart taking a peek to the inside. I'll probably give it another half a turn here, and I think Earhart's going to try to take another shot at him. But where is Alex Bourget? 17 positions up. That's where he is, sitting ninth. Battle alongside, it looks like Chris Schaefer on the outside. He's going to try and run down Robert Rader, who's once again still
Says no.
able to keep that thing under control. I believe Robert Rader is a lap down. That he is, a lap down, sitting 19th.
That doesn't happen often.
It does not. So the inside line definitely working their way up to the front. Couple of lap cars getting out to the front. If there is a caution, I believe Mr. Rader will be our wave around. And Matthew Robinson is still going to have to wait yet another caution to get back on his lead lap, or at least the lead lap. So right now, Nick Alves trying to run down Kevin Orlando, who's sitting right dead smack in front of him, trying to find out how he can run him down. Earhart looking toward the inside, trying to see if he can fire on through. Black Rifle Coffee Machine, oh yeah. Here we go with that Earhart Group Chevrolet, trying to figure out if he's got the room, and he doesn't, as Alves with an excellent run here on the outside. Gets a good move. Earhart says, you know what, that outside line was looking pretty sweet, bud. Let me give that a shot. But he can't because of the two red, white, blue cars here of Earhart and Justice Murphy side by side yet again. This is going pretty wild here, Jacob.
Yeah, this is getting absolutely wild. One thing about it, though, Caleb Gilbert is checking out from every single one of these guys. Grant Thorpe and Kevin Orlando sitting there battling it out for second place. And this is all that Nick Alves is really wanting to see, trying to see if he can slide up there. And like he said, hopefully that Kevin Orlando's back bumper's good reinforced. That way he's going to be able to, I mean, he'll do what he's got to do, you know, try to get around him. But everybody else just back here battling it out. Brandon Dunford, Alex Forget, James Loveland, a bunch of these guys trying to see if they can keep it in the top 10, see if they can make a run up here on Justice Murphy, who has actually made it right here. You got the lead with Caleb Gilbert checking out, then you got a 5-car breakaway right behind Caleb Gilbert, and then after that, it's the whole freaking pack just trying to come up there and see if they can get a hold of him. Robbie Rader is sitting there still sliding around all over the place in front of Alex Forget. There's so much going on, Patrick, it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah, everywhere on the track, there's plenty of action. I'm a little concerned watching Caleb Gilbert. He's going to be catching up to some lap traffic. I believe the number 6 is Jeffrey Israel. He'll be catching here pretty soon. But firing to the inside, Rise Alex Forget gets taken over by Brandon Dunford here. Dunford dive bombs into 3 and 4. Alex Forget going to be able to overcome that, no problem. But can James Loveland get around that? No, not quite, not just yet. As they dive into turn 1 and 2, Loveland still on the outside. Only by about half a car length, Loveland does have Brandon Dunford, and that half a car length is now going to be behind Loveland and Brandon Dunford. Now 2, 3, 4 car lengths now before Dunford's able to catch up. So excellent turn here by James Loveland. Alex Forget overtakes, looks like Robert Rader, who, like I said, he is a lap down, so Forget does not gain another spot. 7th for him, but these two guys, remember that bracket challenge, still waiting to see if Alves can run him down. And you were talking about Caleb Gilbert checking out here. He is. He's almost over a second and a quarter off the mark here from where Grant Thorpe's trying to run him down. Grant Thorpe gets way loose coming out of 2, and that's only going to increase the lead for Caleb Gilbert by another quarter of a second. So about 1.5 seconds ahead for the 54 Ford Chapman Environmental Services machine of Caleb Gilbert in the front as he's running out some live traffic.
Yeah, and he's driving basically, well, this is basically from what it looked like, how he's doing this, basically what happened last week at Charlotte. Caleb Gilbert was the top dog at Charlotte, won the first 2 stages, and if I'm not mistaken, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, he won the race as well. So Caleb Gilbert really making a name, or making his name and making his presence felt right here. But all of this going on, Grant Thorpe, Kevin Orlando looked like it made a little bit of contact in turn 3 and 4. Still sliding around. Orlando seeing if he can try to get away from Grant Thorpe. He knows who's right behind him. It's at 24, Nick Alves. Alves going to see if he can slide in there if Orlando's able to get around Thorpe. Thorpe's not going to give it up. Just battling back as hard as he can on the top. And once again, we talked about it. These guys battling as hard as they are doing. It's just letting Caleb Gilbert just drive away.
And it is, and we see that a little bit of Jeffrey Israel there in the back. Guys working around him as he falls down through the field again. And right now, it looks like pretty, like the fuel calculator here of Grant Thorpe. Excellent driving on the outside line, and that seems to be actually where the fastest line is. Outside line, and they're able to pull on through and shoot the gap here. I'm noticing Caleb Gilbert, if we kind of keep an eye on him, he's almost halfway up the track. He's not going down and scrubbing the paint. So very, very conservative here by the number 54 of Caleb Gilbert here. Look. Yeah, of course, I'm going to say something. He's going to go down there and touch the paint. Yeah, he does. All right. Sticking around with Nick Alves. Alves so close. He's got to make up about 0.3 of a second to reach up to Kevin Orlando. James Loveland sitting 8th. Alex Forget hoping for a caution so he can get the caught back up again. I know Alex Forget, I believe, has been overtaken by Robert Rader. Rader's still a lap down here. He's got some work to do. Justice Murphy is sitting 6th. The All About Bugs number 12 Chevrolet looking pretty solid here all race, especially after last year at this track. A dismal run that was, as he got obliterated, I believe, by James Loveland in that one. So hopefully his teammate doesn't wipe him out here, but that is going to be A-OK for the BD Motorsports team. Justice Murphy, Brandon Richardson, Wayne Lowe, and Jacob Cirkovich actually not doing too well here tonight. Cirkovich is 13th, I would admit, doing pretty well. Wayne Lowe sitting 18th, and I believe we were talking a little bit about Brandon Richardson there, and right now he is sitting 21st. Yeah, I think at least a lap down here, so not looking too hot. So right now, leading the charge for the BDE Motorsports team is Justice Murphy out front, at least in the top 10 here as they battle along. I'm interested to see, really, guys, do you think Nick Alves is going to be able to catch Kevin Orlando here?
Honestly, I think he will, because you were sitting there talking about, how Caleb Gilbert and them's running. These guys are actually, from what I'm seeing, Nick's doing the same thing, basically, that Caleb Gilbert is doing. They're diamonding the corner. And what they're doing is they're going down right on the paint. And then they're sliding up just a little bit, sliding up into that middle lane, and then they're driving right off the corner. Like y'all can see my hands because I'm using my hands when I talk about it. But anyway, yeah, they're going down to the paint, sliding up to the middle, and then driving straight off the bottom. You'll see Caleb Gilbert, he does the same thing. Nick Alves was doing the same thing as well. So he's actually closing in on Kevin Orlando, actually right up his back bumper as they come off of turn number 2. And Thorpe's still trying to hold them all at bay. Trevor Earhart seeing if he can get up there and break up that little bit of the party that Alves and Orlando's got. Granted, they're going for the bracket challenge, but Earhart's had him a couple of wins this season. Wants to try to see if he can make it another win for this season, help him out with some playoffs. But to answer your question, Patrick, I know I'm going on here, but to answer your question, yeah, I think Nick Alves, he may have a shot at Orlando. If I was a betting man, I'd put it on Alves.
Well, it's definitely a possibility here.
My thought on that would be Alves is laying back because Orlando and Thorpe are going to get into it, because Orlando is going to be pushing hard. He needs a win at this point, and Thorpe does, and he's not going to let him by. So just sit back and and he's got his win already. Let it roll. He's in good position to avoid.
I would say all our drivers in the top 5 have a win so far this season. Caleb Gilbert has 2. Grant Thorpe has 1. Kevin Orlando has 1.
but it didn't
I know.
put him in the
Still
playoffs.
counts as a win, but no playoff. Trevor Earhart, he's got 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick Alves has 1. So right now, a couple of guys, definitely with some wins under their belt. They have possibilities, but can they get it done? Somebody looking to get it done, Trevor Earhart, number 21 Chevrolet on the inside. Looks like actually Justice Murphy rides Nick Alves up in the turn a little bit.
Aw.
Oh, man, Nick Alves looks like, I'm not sure if he was trying to avoid the wall there a little bit, but Justice Murphy, not 1, 2 drivers he's trying to put in the rearview mirror here this run. Justice Murphy underneath, and Nick Alves gives a quick little pop there to Earhart. Excuse me, but Earhart slides back in front and keeps it going here. Alex Forget in some hot water as he's still battling along on the side. James Loveland. Loveland right now sitting in that 8th position. He's up 11 here on the race. A little bad. Actually, there's a lot of things going on behind James Loveland. Tay McDonald and Brandon Dunford. So notice how everybody's starting to kind of turn up the heat a little bit here as guys are starting to say, you know what, enough of the single file. We got to start passing again. We got to get back up there. But the 2.5-second lead that Caleb Gilbert has over the fuel calculator of Grant Thorpe, that is just going to be absolutely insane to beat. And we were talking earlier about pit strategy. This may be our chance here.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be who's going to go win right here. I mean, Gilbert looks like he's got a stranglehold on this baby. Just, I mean, like you said, 2.5 seconds gone from Grant Thorpe. So some of these guys, this would be about the time you might see some of those guys duck down in and go get some fresher tires and be able to see if they can try to leapfrog. Caleb Gilbert might get lucky when they leapfrog. You might get a caution later on in the race and be able to put Gilbert back in a little bit of traffic because obviously we've seen what his car does in clean air. What's his car going to do in dirty air? That's the question that we want to see. That's the question I want to see from what I'm seeing. So I wouldn't be surprised you see some of these guys back here, Justice Murphy, James Loveland, some of these guys back here, even Nick Alves, who just got passed by Justice Murphy and Trevor Earhart. You might see Alves dump it in there. He knows he's going up against Kevin Orlando for that bracket challenge. So, a lot of things going on, a lot of different races going on right here, Patrick, but I wouldn't be surprised we see some of these guys go in. I'd say right here within the next 4 to 5 laps. I'll be surprised if some of them don't go ahead, go on in, get those fresher tires, and see if they can do a little bit of leapfrogging right here.
Yeah, well, you were talking about a little bit of a different idea on pit strategy. Somebody who did consider that was Kynan. He was already on it on lap 94, and now Jacob Sirkovich down pit road for him. So he is thinking the exact same thing. How is there a way he can shuffle his way back to the front? But look at Caleb Gilbert. Away he goes.
Yeah, that lead just keeps growing. It's impressive. My question is he getting faster or are the other guys getting slower?
Actually, he's actually picking up a quite bit more speed here. Last lap times.
Nice.
Yeah, right now Caleb Gilbert's last lap time is a 35.65. Grant Thorpe at a 35.98.
Wow.
Right now, still fastest on the track. Yeah, right now he is scooting the boot here. I am impressed. Almost to 3 seconds out front. And what can these guys do to offset this? I just don't know, but I think that is going to be Kynan. I think that's him flying up the inside. Kynan is on fresh rubber out there. Yes, he is. Here he comes to the inside of Tay McDonald. Tay McDonald might be under fire by the last car here. Okay, interesting to see here. Tay McDonald coming down pit. So moving on through, let's see how Brandon Dunford does. Right now, James Loveland and Alex Bourget at it again. Boy, you wonder if these guys are going to leave each other alone, but it does not look like it here.
Nah.
Let's see where Justice Murphy's going. Right now, he's up 8 positions, sitting 4th. Not too bad here so far. Oh, man. Justice Murphy trying to get around Kevin Orlando here. You saw he was hard on the gas, but he's trying to figure out how to fire around that 27 machine. What can he do?
That.
Oh, yeah, he's got the Grant Thorpe lead. Oh, he's got the Grant Thorpe lead. Yes, he's trying to push through that turn. You see him kissing off the side of Kevin Orlando there a little bit. Yeah, it's what he was saying, just unable to hold. I think he's starting to realize tires are going to be an absolute must here. The All About Bugs Chevrolet is at least in the top 5 here.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back.
Uh-oh.
Alex Forzette and Robert Rader. Rader just looked like he hit the brakes right in front of Alex Forzette. Forzette hit him right in the back bumper, spun him out. That's going to bring out the caution. So I was close on my 20 laps right there. I was real close on it right there.
And that's how you change Gilbert's lead in a heartbeat.
3.5 seconds he had in front of everybody else.
Yeah.
Got wiped.
That's painful.
All right, we gotta see what happens.
Yeah, looks like Forzette kind of gets right here. Robbie actually may have got a little bit loose. Then again, Forzette, I mean, it's tough to tell right there from that angle. Looked like Robbie may have got loose. Forzette might have gassed up a little bit, got in the back of him. Them two was actually battling pretty hard, even though Robbie was actually a lap down. Forzette was on the lead lap. So, you know, they were racing real hard around one another, but I mean, it's tough to tell. I mean, you know, Robbie might have got loose, Forzette might have gassed up. Honestly, that's just a racing incident.
Yeah, but man, you hate to call it that. Let's see if I can find anything from James Loveland's area. Yeah, nothing here.
No.
Yeah, I think even if I was in Kynan's car, I don't think I could see it from there either. Because I'm trying to see if there's something going on. Ooh,
Did
hold on.
somebody
What if
hit smoke?
Trying to see if a lane change.
He might have, Patrick, he might have got a little bit loose, honestly, from that angle. It looked like the back end kind of, very slightly, might have came around right there, and he was trying to gather it up. We've seen Robbie just holding on to his car a bunch tonight, been sliding around, getting loose all over the place. So that may have been what it was, just that little bit that might have got Robbie just a little bit loose and sent him right down in front of Forzette. And that might have been, I think that might have been what it was.
Dang. You hate to see it go like that, though. You know, just a nasty spin here. Wow, that is going to definitely tumble up this field. Drivers did come down and pit, but this is where we shuffle everything up, Stella, that you were talking about. Caleb Gilbert now drops down to 3rd, but we still have the choose cone. Showing Justice Murphy and Trevor Earhart are going to be 1 and 2 here. Yeah, a couple of drivers are going to need the wave around. I think Robert Rader may be thinking that you know, if he stays out, there could definitely be a possibility of another caution. Now it's Forzette trying to see if that car is still drivable out here. Wow.
Ooh. Got loose right there. Might be telling him something.
Yeah, Forzette actually had to come down. He got 1 minute of repairs. Come back out. Hopefully he was able to get some tires because he's going to need it. Last time Justice Murphy pit, yeah, it was 102, so he's looking pretty solid here. He might be able to get a chance. I would say Justice Murphy and Trevor Earhart, a little pit strategy for these two. Interesting to see them not create a wall and block Caleb here. Both of them outside line. Caleb Gilbert, 4 freshies and fuel.
Wow. Wow. That's a strategy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected.
Interesting strategy.
Yeah.
Let's say, where are the rest of our cars? Oh, guys, here they come. Some of them trying to catch back up with a wave around here. Terry out there saying that top group better stay clean. There will be an interesting podcast tomorrow.
Oh, yikes.
I was seeing that most of them are in that podcast. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Justice Murphy, Trevor Earhart. Yeah, Nick Alves will be there. Michael Benton will be there. Oh, wow. All right, there are the rest of our guys.
16 to go. Let's keep it a nice, clean shootout.
Oh, yeah, pace car is still out. Should be ducking around this time by.
Yep.
This is it. Justice Murphy out in front. And the way Justice Murphy goes, see if he can get out there. Caleb Gilbert's going to try to run him down here. Right now, Trevor Earhart's got to hope he can hold it. Slide through 1 and 2, the fuel calculator of Grant Thorpe sneaking in behind. Good tire strategy for Grant Thorpe. Let's see if Kevin Orlando can stick to it. Kevin Orlando slides to the bottom, trying to see if he can secure a third, but he still hasn't. And Trevor Earhart trying to hold on. Good strategy by our guys here in the front, and Justice Murphy might be looking at the Bentley Ford here. And, oh man, good battle here between these two. Can Justice Murphy squeeze away here? Yes, he got it, but does he cut down and slice in front of him here?
No.
Yeah, he got him. He's
Woo,
clear.
he made it.
Yeah, Justice Murphy having to put a little more stink into that one to get around. But Caleb Gilbert is looking for this shot here. Oh, Justice into
Murphy's
the wall.
on the wall.
Kevin Orlando into the wall. Back he goes. Right now it looks like somebody did that on purpose, because now it has pushed Kevin Orlando 2 spots in front of Nick Alves. Nick Alves only has to get around John Fike here.
Wait,
we got a
wait,
wreck in the back.
Problem.
Trevor Earhart is around.
Oh my goodness. Might have got a little bit of help on that one. From what I'm seeing, got a little bit of help and got spun around right there.
All right, no radio chatter for that one. Ooh, man.
Oh,
Grant
Oh,
Thorpe closed
Blake.
the gap on that one.
Yeah, and Blake Cook got in the back bad.
Look at everybody slice on round. That was awesome.
Yes.
That was awesome. Where is Kyle? Where's Kyle?
Why are you asking that?
I want to show you something. Watch this. That's
Man,
why.
all of us took an inhale on that one.
Oh
Man.
gosh.
That's why.
Collective
You see
breath.
how close that was. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. Get going. I want to see something. There's the 9. Man, Blake Cook kind of sealing the deal here.
Woo.
Yeah, that was close. Good job driving there by Kynan Jones, sitting 14th for him now as he's going to slide on up. I would say Kynan hasn't pit since lap 94. So his tires are a little more worn than everybody else. But Justice Murphy still out in front. He was about to be taken over there by Caleb Gilbert. Grant Thorpe is sitting 3rd. And Trevor Earhart down into the pits. Yuck. That is not looking good. Probably the 3rd time I've said that. This race is kind of turning nasty here. 120 laps, 10 cautions. Not a good ratio here, Stella.
No, it's not. And we've got some new names up here in the top 10 between Blake Cook and Fike and Dunford. Loveland for the first time tonight.
And Chris Schaefer that actually started, I believe, all the way in the dead
Dead
last.
last.
27.
Yep.
27, not too bad. Now I would say Chris Schaefer, 4 tires and fuel back on lap 102, so he should be able to hang with the big boys now. Definitely he did some tire strategies earlier in the race. That seems to be working out just fine.
And y'all just talked about that with some of these guys that we don't see up front. This has got to be a big time confidence booster for guys like Christopher Schaefer and John Fike. You know, Fike was one of them that actually got caught up in that earlier wreck back at Charlotte and wasn't able to run a whole lot of laps. I don't, or I know he finished. He probably finished last in that one. So, real big confidence booster for some of these guys. As we got the Brady Bunch on the screen there, Patrick.
Yeah, that we do. Getting everybody teed up here. If I were Trevor Keith, I wouldn't be a happy camper either. I'd be kind of upset right now, but that's all right. 15 forward, down and out on this one. Oh, I had a full screen to begin with. Dang it. All right, Alice Forsyth, look at him. He's got me. He can't believe it. Look at all these guys. Awesome job by everybody making it through here. I've got to say, you know, these guys battling out all night, just so many different opportunities, and just, man, I mean, yeah, we're getting caution here, but the racing's still pretty good, you know, when we're not obliterating each other. But I mean, the racing, the guys back and forth trying to find a different area, you know, trying to see if they can, I don't know, man, just how can these guys stay alive in this one? This is looking pretty sketchy. But how does Justice Murphy stay out front? How does the fuel calculator and his old BDE teammate from TriStar Motorsports, how do these guys go at it? Because Grant Thorpe, Blake Cook, the only drivers from TriStar Motorsports, up actually in podium positions here. This is looking very familiar from I think last week, or if not a week before.
That is true.
Here we go. Everybody waving. I think somebody's queued up and told them there, you guys are on, baby. We're watching. Oh boy. Well, Stella, did we get another caution, or are we make it all the way to the end?
I have my hopes up that we will make it to the end.
Right now, this is a great spot actually for Grant Thorpe taking the inside line. I like that. This is going to give a chance to box in Caleb Gilbert here. Two Chevrolets in front of him. This is the battle pushes forward through. Pace car is off. We'll have 8 laps to go at the line.
And I'm amused that Alves and Orlando are right next to each other.
Oh yeah. All right, here we go. Off we go. Justice Murphy can really use a win here to secure him into the playoff via win instead of getting in via points. Outside line, Caleb Gilbert trying to hold on to it, and he loses positions. Back he goes, 4th position now. Blake Cook going to try to hold him up toward the wall. Excellent job so far. Kevin Orlando sitting 5th. Alves has dropped down to 7th. Maybe a bad line choice there by Nick Alves as he's flowing on back. Not looking good. James Loveland trying to get a hold of it there. And Justice Murphy getting away. Oh my gosh, Justice Murphy coming back. Here we go. 7 laps left, and really this is looking pretty solid here. But there's a 3-way battle back here, I believe, with Michael Bennett. Bennett trying to battle alongside, looks like Christopher Schaefer in the 23 Chevrolet. And Grant Thorpe's around.
Dunford's around. A couple of them's around. It's going to bring out the caution right here with about 6-7 laps to go, Patrick. Oh, it's going to get good now.
Bro.
What happened to Grant?
Bro. Let's say, I think Grant Thorpe saved it, though. I really do. I think he saved it. Let's take a look here. Oh. Grant Thorpe saved it.
What happened?
I wouldn't say the nose got taken off here, but, you know, like the wind got taken away from him. But I'm trying to see. I wonder if the car snapped loose on him. He was fine. Man, I give it to him for saving this one, though. What an excellent job. Now I got to figure out what happened to Brandon Dunford, because he is backwards. He's all over the place. Let's figure out what happens here, because I bet you this is what brings out the caution. Take.
And Patrick, that could have been way worse than what it looked like, because obviously with Grant Thorpe getting a little bit loose right there, getting trying to get it straightened back out right there on the bottom. All of that going on while he's trying to get it straightened out. Here comes Dunford, and if Thorpe would have been back maybe about, I guess you could say 50 to 100 feet back right there, Dunford would have absolutely slammed straight into Grant Thorpe. So that was very, very, that right there just worked out all the way around right there for Grant Thorpe to not be in any worse position than what he's in. But he's going to get lucky with that caution coming out. Going to be able to be sitting 8th right here. So he's still got a shot to try to get up there and try to make some noise right here with the end of this race.
Yeah, it was still pretty awesome, though. I'll give it to Grant for saving it there. Some of these guys have been kind of snapping it around. He does remain top 10, though. Justice Murphy and Blake Cook will be in the front. Kevin Orlando, and then Caleb Gilbert's got to file in somewhere. I wonder if he chooses to line up behind Justice Murphy, if he's going to be toward the back of the line. What happens now? Because the guy who's been really punishing this entire field still can't seem to get broken through here. He finds a gap, took that outside line, and then that thing drove him way up the track before the tires could tack up for him, and that just sent him on back. So heartbreaking for him here. But I know Caleb Gilbert's still sniffing around, see if he can find win number 3 here on the year. Pace car lights are still on. Choose cone rules should be this time around. Stella, I believe this brings us, I would think, our first green, white checkered start.
Okay, because they start at 3, right?
Well, it'll be 3 this time by.
Okay, then.
And then pace car will be out. Boy, this is ugly. Notice the choose. Notice the choose. Kevin Orlando changing his mind outside line. Caleb Gilbert on the inside.
Oh my goodness.
Just happened?
Yeah.
This is going to move Nick Alves, I think, in front of Kevin. It moves Nick Alves in front of Kevin Orlando. Orlando is now taking a 5th place start, and Nick Alves will be 4th.
Wow. He just, 3 places. 3 places. Heads up. I have to give you, this is at least the 2nd absolute heads up play by Nick Alves tonight.
I cannot. What the hell is going on? Grant Thorpe has moved up to now 6th. I mean, this is...
Welcome to Choose Cone.
Dude.
Hey,
Dude.
You want to talk weird? Tay McDonald's in 8th.
Yeah, but I mean... Dude.
And check out old Kynan Jones. Kynan Jones, he's sitting in 10th right now. So or at least from what I'm seeing on my end, he's sitting in 10th right there, or right around in the 10th area. So real big move for him. I mean, everybody just kind of just jumbled up right here. I'm telling you, I love that choose cone rule now.
Yeah, that's looking it has shuffled the entire field. And if Kynan can get a top 10 finish here, Stella, I think something tells me there's going to be a one-finger salute for that.
All I can say is Justice Murphy right now has the biggest target. He has got to take off so bad to be in front of Caleb Gilbert.
Yeah,
because
well,
if not...
If not, he's going to be in trouble.
Get it. Yep. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
He's going to give him a shove here. He's got to cut down in front, and he does. Caleb Gilbert's around.
Crap. Okay.
Look at the field split. Oh no, Matthew Robinson. Trevor Keith. No.
Yep. That's one.
Oh man. 120 laps, 12 cautions here.
I mean, I got to give it to Caleb Gilbert. I mean, he sent it right there going into turn 1. He knew that was the move that he needed to do right there, but Justices came down right there, and he, believe it or not, didn't really come down on top of him from what I'm seeing. He came down, he ran all the way up against the top and came down. Caleb already had it full send. And I mean, once again, I mean, I know I say it a lot, and I know it sounds like I'm a broken record when I say it, but that's just a racing deal right there. You know, Justice trying to get down to the bottom. Would it have been a better idea for him to go down to the bottom as or a little bit earlier? Yeah, probably, but that may have screwed up his entry trying to go into the turn. But Caleb absolutely sent it right there, and he knew that he was gonna. I mean, he was going for broke. Honestly, at that point, that was Caleb's move to try to get it in there, and just unfortunately spins him around, takes out a bunch of them. Matthew Robinson, Trevor Keith also getting caught up in that. But I mean, that's what you got to do at the end of these races. I mean, you gotta go for yourself, and you got to go for the best move that you can possibly make.
Holy cow!
Boink.
Looking at it from this angle, it definitely looks like Justice Murphy. Watch him come down to block that lane, and Caleb Gilbert tries to turn to get underneath of him.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if he clipped those rumble strips and it spun him
Yeah,
around.
it's like Justice had extra weight in the back of his car, you know? Oh, come on, hit me. Go for it.
Dude.
So,
Dude.
did not move at all.
That was awesome. That was
Okay.
awesome. Let me see if I can find. Let's take a ride along with the driver who made it through here. Let me see if I can.
Well, both of our contenders made it through. They split the difference.
That was nasty. Definitely a pile up. I would say I would like to see Tay McDonald though. Tay McDonald had a good ride because I think the river parted right in front of him as he slings by. Riding shotgun here with Tay McDonald. Right here. Oh.
Whee! Yeah, Kynan says 99 on board was fun.
Yeah, we took a ride along with him. Wow. Talk about Tay McDonald squeaking it out there. And now
Yep.
Caleb Gilbert looks like he is down pit road. Slinging some tires on that machine. Let's see if he can get back out there in time. Try to fix some of that damage here. Matthew Robinson as well. Getting some damage fixed. And Alice Forget back down pit lane again.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, Alice Forget's time in the box was 41 seconds. So, you were talking about a target on somebody's back. Justice Murphy is going to be in a lot of trouble here. Kevin Orlando will now be sitting in front of Nick Alves.
Okie dokie.
Does Nick Alves drive nicely, or does he give him a little nudge here? I don't know. Kevin Orlando's been fast all night. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Terry Earhart saying it's a demolition derby out there. Yeah, I know it's not. Not looking too good. Not from kind of a bird's eye view, but seeing how many cautions we have. I would say that there was a large update to iRacing yesterday. Yesterday, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, and so a lot of things between tire models, damage models, a lot of things have changed. And I don't know if the next gen car was included in it. And you hate to think that and kind of point fingers at that. But Jacob, I believe even the Doghouse Racing League called off a race one time and extended it another week just because of the update. Every guy had built the car, had set up the car, and then it all kind of wiped clean the day before and saying this car handles completely different. I can't use this now.
Ouch.
Yeah. I mean, you are right. I mean, we've done that over at Doghouse where, basically like you said, I mean, iRacing throws these updates out for the week 13, to kind of break up the official deal. But yeah, we've done that as we go back green.
All right, Justice Murphy getting an excellent restart here. Can he hold them off as we're taking a long ride along here with Justice Murphy?
The wrecking in the back. Trevor Earhart getting spun right there going into turn number 1.
Yeah, Justice Murphy kind of really wishing he didn't have that happen. I would question here. Is that going to be the last one? How many green-white checkers?
I thought there were 2.
Yeah, yeah. The first one that we had before this one, it actually played out perfectly, because we was gonna go back green with 2 to go, right on the money with the scheduled amount of laps, and then we had that caution. So then we had the green white checkered that we had right before this right here, once we got caught up in this one. So this is gonna be the last green white checkered that we're gonna have, guys.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look here. Trevor Earhart. What happens to him here? Whoa. What the hell happened to Rob here? Ah, Matthew Robinson sends him. Yikes. Looks like during that replay, let's see if I can get another angle here.
Robert got loose.
I was just wondering if Trevor led off because he couldn't figure out what the heck Rob was doing.
Venture, yeah.
But then Robinson shot to the outside too, so why? I don't know.
I'll say this, Patrick. You was talking about that these guys has got a podcast that they're going to be doing. I got a feeling it's going to be a very good listen for some of the viewers that's been watching, and possibly some of the drivers as well. I mean, it's going to be a lot of talking about this race on that podcast.
And it will not be PG. Just fair warning.
No, that's the late night dark hour. You can't have that thing.
Well, you could.
Here in the
They
front.
don't.
Man, what an odd race. What an odd race here. I mean, still, it's not just a battle between Justice Murphy and Blake Cook here. You know, really, which one of these guys can get the win. But then there is a battle of the guys sitting in third and fourth. And right now, that choose cone rule could mix it up yet again. You know, this is difficult. But hey, check out who's sitting fifth. Grant.
Oh, I know.
And
Yeah.
After saving the car, bringing it back. Dude.
And Kynan's in the top 10. So is Michael Bennett after having one heck of a night.
Yeah, having kind of kissing the wall up there a couple times. Right now, sitting 10th, but I hate to call out places before the choose code because this is always where things happen. What does Kevin Orlando do? Here comes the choose code rule. Does Alves take the inside?
He should.
No, Alves is going to line up behind Kevin Orlando.
Really?
Well, if he doesn't, that's going to put Nick Alves somewhere in the 5th to 6th position. So he's trying to hold on and keep it 4th.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm really surprised to see Blake Cook not take the inside line. So, you know, maybe trying to switch it up a little bit because that seemed to be the best shot that Caleb Gilbert had was that inside line. He had an opportunity. But speaking of which, Caleb Gilbert, I believe, is sitting 17th. Right next to Robert Ravenback.
Okay, our Chapman Environmental crew.
Yeah. What a race. What a race. This is getting wild. Yes, Jeremy Burns there he is. Burns getting his wish. A couple cautions down. He's now only 12 down now. You're saying this is the last green-white checkered here at World Wide Technology for the All About Bugs 120 here. This is
I'd also like to say that you have to finish the race to be eligible for the random drawing of $20 tonight. So, good move.
we'll see. We got to finish this thing. Got to get it done.
Well,
appreciate all our viewers hanging in there, though. Plenty of guys out there trying their best to finish this one up. I think one more pile up, but right now Justice Murphy has to have his nose out in front of whoever it's going to be if another caution comes out. So Justice Murphy, Kevin Orlando in the front row. Away we go. Right now, I'm
Oh.
really surprised to see Al's not shooting below, but he doesn't want to cross up before the line. Al's to the outside here of Kevin Orlando as Justice Murphy makes his breakaway. Al's trying to get a solid run here, following behind Cook. Lick to the wall. Al's
Kate.
loose.
Nope.
Al's in the grass. Jet into the wall. That is going to do it for the battle for the bracket spot. Now let's stick with Justice Murphy as he's got to get around a couple more times. A couple more drivers getting into the wall back there. I believe Cirkovich may be in some trouble. No, he's A-okay. Justice Murphy, white flag is out, and look at this. He's got a half a second lead.
Caution's out.
And there's a mess back there. No
How can
caution.
there be a caution?
There's no caution. It's the final lap.
Oh man, I thought he beat it to the line. I thought he honestly beat the flag to the line, but somehow or another the caution's out.
Yeah, I'm showing white flag here before the yellow comes out. There's Schaefer in the wall. Right here. Where's Justice Murphy? Oh, he's not to the line.
But okay.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know
white
the
flag is out, but he's got to cross the line.
Or
And
or
there's the line.
but it's already a green-white checker. I thought we didn't care about the cautions at this point.
No, I mean in green-white checkers, I mean the leader has to get to the line. Does not matter if it's green-white checkered or what have you. The leader has to get to the line for it to be or for the white flag to come out, and then the race win with the checker with no caution. But I'm telling you though, it was still a good run and a good call by Justice Murphy. Being able to get up front, as you see Alves right here on your screen, just get loose, drive it straight through the grass. I mean, he done a good job to save it. I know that's going to be a heartbreaker for him for the bracket challenge, but he had, honestly, Patrick, he had one hell of a run tonight, and it just sucks that it ends that way.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That is a nasty shot here. So checkered flag was taken by Justice Murphy. He got it. Wow. Interesting run, though. Gotta admit.
Okay, then it is done? Okay, because race control said leader has to be past the line even with the white out.
But we're out of green-white checkers.
That's what I thought. But the dude's Barney's still having a fit up there.
Nope, that'll do it.
Okay.
Wow.
Congratulations, Justice Murphy. You won the
I'm
Wait a
little
minute.
confused
Wait
as
a
why
minute.
is it showing Justice Murphy 20th?
and Kevin Orlando winning. All right, now I just don't understand anything. And a lap down?
I think I know what that is.
I think it's a bunch of
iRacing's done
BS.
that before. iRacing's done that before, but Justice Murphy, he won this race.
Yeah, it probably is hiccuped here, Stella. And what I think what's happened is it's saying it has no idea why somebody's where they are and how it ended this way. Because for things to end under a caution is kind of a bummer, but
Oh
wow.
my
Yep,
heavens.
it is okay. It is okay.
Okay.
But yeah, per my ticker and everything that I am seeing, it's showing Justice Murphy is our first place. Kevin Orlando was second. Blake Cook is third. John Fike up 18 positions in his 09 Chevrolet came fourth. Grant Thorpe is fifth. James Loveland up 13 positions, sitting sixth. Tay McDonald was seventh. Kynan Jones, 12 positions, gained eighth. Dylan Smoot up 12 positions in the 92 Ford, ninth. And the top 10, rounding that out, will be Brandon Dunford in the 56 Toyota.
Okay.
Yeah, no kidding. We got at least two drivers for Mayhem Motorsports
That's
breaking
what I
in the
was
top
gonna
10.
say. Yeah, good news for Mayhem.
All right. Not too shabby here. The All
Not-
About Bugs 120. I don't think they expected it to go this way.
Not
And,
too shabby for TriStar either.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding. So Justice Murphy there with BDE getting first. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Go for Broke Racing with Kevin Orlando hitting second, and then TriStar hitting third there with Grant Thorpe fifth. Not too shabby. All right, everybody, hold on just a moment. We'll kind of reel our drivers in here, and we'll let's have a little chat with them and talk to them about this insane race we just saw.
It's no secret the real estate market can be a little tricky to figure out. In the Oklahoma City area, you need the experts at the Earhart Group to guide you. We're one of the top-rated real estate teams in all of Oklahoma. We can help you buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And we've got a dedicated farm and ranch division too. The Earhart Group for all your Oklahoma real estate needs, and proud to be a sponsor of the Simtrax Racing broadcast.
Alrighty, Blake Cook, we've caught up with you. Sorry for everybody out there kind of tuning in there a little bit. They had to put actually this race under review due to the way it finished here, but let's talk about the entire race. Blake Cook, you moved up 11 positions in your Chevrolet. How? How did you do it?
Good question. I didn't feel really confident coming into the race. I kind of actually spun it in qualifying. So it was one of those things, just stayed out of trouble, got in a little bit of early trouble, but just a minute of optional. So nothing too bad. Just ride around, figure out what I could do, what I couldn't do. And then it paid off there at the end by picking the outside. I knew I couldn't make too many passes on the inside. So just kept on going to the outside and was able to get some good restarts.
I don't see one tick here where it says you had any sort of trouble. Was the trouble that you had where it resulted in some trouble and any sort of damage for you? Was it lap 16 at the pile up at the line?
Yep, the very early wreck. I'm pretty sure he has lap 16, 17, somewhere around there. Just was on the high side. Some cars washed back up coming down the front stretch. Just nowhere to go. Like I said, minimal damage. Only took me about a minute, so I polished those off pretty quick and was able to battle back.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Dude, this has been a interesting race, to say the least. But we're going to fortunately leave this track and move to a road course. Most would say that is not a good thing. What do you say?
I am right there with you. I'm not really that good at road courses. I might have to put in some time this week just to keep the heater I'm on up with these podium finishes. Don't feel too confident going into Sonoma, but hey, I didn't feel too confident coming into Gateway, and here we are sitting third.
All right. Well, speaking of which, you guys were up front, and it looked like TriStar Motorsports may have had, maybe a 1-3, 1-2 finish here, or even a 2-3. Like I said, with you guys up front, I mean, how confident you feeling having Grant Thorpe, the two of you guys, teammates right next to each other here?
It's always easier racing around Grant. I trust him. If he's door to door, I know how he's going to race. Feel a little bit more comfortable. Would have loved to have seen him got up here in podium. I think he might have got a little loose coming off too. But all in all, I still think he was able to gather it and finished up pretty good.
Yeah, and it does take a lot of skill to gather these cars back up. Blake Cook, give me your shout-outs.
Shout out to you guys. You guys do an awesome job during the broadcast. Shout out to Justice for his win on his sponsored race. And see if we can podium it again at Sonoma.
All righty. Congratulations on your third place finish, and can't wait to see how the points stack up on this one.
Yep. Thank you, Patrick.
Yep. All right. There's Blake Cook. That's going to move us to Kevin Orlando, and I believe Jacob Reeves is caught up to Kevin Orlando. And see if you got him there, bud.
Yeah, Kevin Orlando, buddy. You got a copy?
I got you loud and clear, man.
Well, I mean, man, it was honestly one of the crazier races, I guess you could say that y'all have had this season. But, two questions real quick. One, obviously, tell us about your night. And two, what are you going to do with that money? I mean, you the big man. I mean, you won the daggum bracket challenge.
I'll be honest with you right now. I don't even remember what the prize is. I just knew there was a prize and had to do something about it. I never expected to make it this far into the bracket, if I'm honest with you. The people I got matched up with, I hate to say it, but I won half of those due to luck. Last week, Trevor had it, and that disqualification for the meatball flag gave it to me. And I didn't have the race last week to earn it. But, I mean, I'll take it this week. I mean, I'm glad that me and Nick were around each other almost the whole race. It was exciting. It definitely had my heart rate up. It was honestly more pressure than the race win, which would have been nice too. But, Justice earned that one with that strategy call. So.
Yeah, I mean, and you talked about that right there with, racing around Nick. I mean, what was the main mindset? I mean, obviously, you're trying to go for the win, but you got Nick back there. I mean, like, did you have a priority button, I guess you could say, said? I mean, which was your top priority? Was it trying to run good and going for the win, or was it just your main focus was just try to beat Nick Alves? I mean, which one? Well, I mean, if you had to put them in priority.
Yeah, so I was actually talking to my teammates about this right near the end of the race there when we were getting the green, white checkers, and I was actually prioritizing more so just finishing ahead of Nick than beating Justice, because beating Justice was going to be a hard task. If we had a full green, white checkered, I might have been able to make something happen, but in the long run, we didn't get it, and I knew the restarts were going to be paramount, so. I was really just looking at Nick behind me. I'm like, look, I gotta choose my lane that's gonna make sure Nick stays behind me. I knew if I went high on those last restarts, Nick was gonna be front row, and I'd have to fight my way back around him. One of those late restarts when we had Caleb get around, he actually got around me during that wreck, but it was after the caution came out. But honestly, with the way that restart went, even without that wreck, he got a killer restart there, and he was probably coming around me. So,
well, next week we go into Sonoma, not a typical race, I guess you could say, for the Racing Revolution Series, it being a road course. But man, how do you like your chances? Going to a track where you're not only going to have to be turning left, you're going to have to be turning right.
I'm glad to be going back to Sonoma. It's been a while, and it used to be, one of my favorite tracks when I thought I was good at road courses. But it turns out there's a lot of people in this league that are great at road courses. So yeah, I could run the whole race without dying probably, but I'm just looking forward to it just because I like the track. It's a lot of fun. But I'm thinking we're probably looking around a top 10-ish performance based on road courses in the past. I'll be happy with that.
All right, Kevin Orlando coming home second. Give me your shout outs, bud.
I mean, shout out's got to go to Nick. He put on a hell of a race with me. I was glad to be battling against him in the bracket. That's me and him. We've been friends for a while now, and he's great. And we've, even through all the season before we started Racing Revolution, it's always been me and him battling out in points and everything. So it felt very fitting for this to come down to me and him. And, shout out to Justice. Congrats on that win. And, I guess a shout out to the fans. Thanks to you guys watching this week after week, even if this is your first time tuning in. you know, big thanks to you guys because you guys are what keeps us going, what makes this happen the way it is. So
Devin Orlando coming home second place, bud. Congratulations on it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And you'll also take home $50 for this win.
Hey, I'll take that too.
Dang. We just gotta give him a Starry Polo. Yeah, that's gonna work out good.
Oh man. You know, I got a heat transfer vinyl machine. I might as well just take one of the polos I have and put one on there because it's working. It's working.
There you go. All right. Congratulations, Kevin. Appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks again. Have a good night.
You too. All right, everybody. Kevin Orlando getting it done. Getting it done. And really, I want to talk to the man who did get it done, Justice Murphy. Holy cow. All right, let's talk to the judge. Justice Murphy, you got a copy?
Got a copy.
I bet you do, man. Talk to me about these restarts back and forth, back and forth. You had to be nervous.
Oh, I was nervous. I guess coming in the final pit stop right there with, this was like 17 to go. I took the 2 tires because as I was pulling in, I told my teammates, I was like, it's either follow the leader and follow him or get these 2 tires and try to make something happen. So just took the 2 tires, and the more the cautions came out, it evens them out a little bit. The one advantage it did give me was it seemed to rotate really well in 1 and 2. So as long as I got a good jump and got everybody cleared each time, I could get through 1 and 2, and then it was just about surviving from there.
All right. Well, I love how you bring up how it rotates through 1 and 2. Talk to me a little bit about that nudge there with the Caleb Gilbert.
Yeah, I actually I keyed up in the admin chat and told Rob. I said, I don't want to say this over public comms, but I said, do tell Caleb that I appreciate him cutting me the break there, because he could have certainly opted to basically wreck me. He could have done what Ross did to McDowell Sunday, but he chose not to. Spun himself. It cost himself the finish, but just one of those things. I have a long memory about people wrecking me if they don't apologize. It's one of those things where I can let it ride for a little bit and then I'll get it when I need it. But I also tend to have a long memory about people cutting me a break. So that'll be remembered. I'll keep that one in the tank when Caleb needs one. At some point, needs a push somewhere and I can help him. I'll do what I can. But one of those things. He's typically very clean. You kind of know what you're getting with him. So he could have made a different decision and didn't. I appreciate that, of course.
Yeah, well, that is typical of Caleb Gilbert. He does that a lot. You know, he sits back, he helps people out. But talk to me a little bit about the relief you have now. We're not having to battle our way into the playoffs via points this year. We're going to get another win. I believe you had 2 wins last year. This is one of them. And now next week, I'm something tells me that one's in the bag too.
I wouldn't call it in the bag. We have put some laps in already for next week prepping. I already knew I needed a win. The way this season's gone, I've had some bad luck wrecked out, and I think I was still after drop races above the cutoff line, but I knew I needed the win to get in because I know I'm going to miss at least one race that I probably would have been favored for, which is the Chicago Street Course. I may also miss Atlanta Super Speedway, so just a pin. But I already knew those were coming, so I needed the win before that to get the win here, take some relief off next week. Maybe you can just go out there and drive. I know I'll be picked kind of as one of the favorites. It'd probably be me or Trevor picked as the favorite, and then but don't sleep on a guy like Burns. Rob is probably going to be very good there. You're going to have a lot of guys that I think will put in some time. I know Bennett messaged while I was in the waiting room asking which configuration we were running. So he's apparently trying to get some laps in already. And it's good to see these guys work. And I've said it before, when it comes to what pushed me to get so good on the road courses was tired of getting my butt whipped by Trevor. So I guess everybody's kind of tired of having two favorites every time we go to these, and they're putting in the work, and I love it. I love seeing the competition. These guys run hard week in, week out, everybody here. So we love to see it. But yeah, next week will be fun. Hopefully we can get this thing back in victory lane. We'll be back up here as the last one interviewed.
All right. Yeah, I like that. But I've got to admit here, you win the All About Bugs 120, but now you telling me you're going to be missing Chicago Street and Atlanta? That's bugging me now. So talk to me a little bit about your shout-outs now.
All right. Shout outs, of course, Chapman Environmental Services being the primary sponsor, Ultimate Siding and Guttering hopping in, and they've been huge helping us. Butt kicker, you guys at Simtrax Broadcasting doing a great broadcast every week. All about bugs on the car, all about bugs sponsoring the race. I think, like Rob said, it's great to win the race that's being sponsored by the car sponsor. So, yeah, and all the sponsors step in week to week. And Coast Financial, Earhart Group, B Rich stepped up, done a little bit of sponsoring Tay. It allows us to come out week to week and offer up prizes for wins and cars finishing on the lead lap. Like we love to do that. And I know tonight we had a handful of sponsors or prospective sponsors tuning in. So hopefully they enjoyed the show. I wouldn't take what you saw this week as what our normal product is. Let's give it a couple weeks, get to Nashville, and you'll really see what these boys are about.
Yeah, I would say this was probably one of the tougher tracks if somebody were to tune in. But that is, I know you boys can clean it up. I just think just too many cars, not enough room out there, and just not enough banking to keep everybody scooped in. So the wall would definitely greeted a few of the drivers out there. I know Bennett, Rader, and Loveland, I know we're scraping the wall a few good times there. But Justice Murphy, congratulations on your win, man. I'm so glad to see you finally get your first one of the season, and I'm sure there are a few more to come.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Hope to see y'all again next week.
Oh, yeah. All right, Justice Murphy. All right, we're checking out with Justice Murphy here, squaring him off. Always good to talk to him right there at the end. Definitely seems to work out pretty well there for certain there. But that's going to do it here for us right at the end. So Stella, talk to me about it here. We head to Sonoma next week. What should we be looking out for?
Well, it should be fun. I am truly, let's see, it's 110. The All About Bugs Bounty 110. I wish I had the chance to ask Justice exactly what the bounty part of that title is.
Normally it's if anybody can beat Trevor Earhart or Justice Murphy in that road course, they win a little bit of dough.
Okay.
I want to give a shout out here for our random finisher who ended up getting a little bit of dough tonight as well. Tay McDonald won the draw. 73 Ford sitting 7th. He won a little bit of dough, a little bit of money here tonight as well. Jacob, we head to Sonoma. What's the worst thing that we should be looking out for there?
Basically these guys just really need to worry about trying to keep it on the track. That's their main goal for Sonoma. Honestly, some of these guys, you might see some of these guys that may have been struggling a little bit tonight. You never know. They might just jump out and be able to pull a good finish out of their back pocket next week for just being consistent and being able to stay on the track. That's the main key. At least it is for me, especially because I'm not real big on road courses. But if you can limit mistakes and keep the car on the track, you're going to have a good finish. And it's very possible you keep it on the track, everybody else might not be able to. You might find yourself in victory lane.
Oh, yeah. Justice Murphy, Kevin Orlando, and Blake Cook, 1, 2, and 3 tonight. Guys, appreciate you joining us all here at Simtrax Broadcasting. That's going to be all for us here tonight. Let's try that tongue twister one more time. And we'll go ahead and join up with you guys again next week. Don't forget to tune in for the Doghouse Racing League tomorrow. At Simtrax Broadcasting will be bringing to you live half an hour earlier than we started tonight. But that'll do it for us. Be well, be safe, be kind. I'll catch all you guys next time.